Okay, so here we are. See, this is what we're looking at right here.
Okay.
Pour your beer down on the floor. How y'all doing, yo? It's your boy E Blue coming at you on this live stream, and with my guest right here, the Mouth of the South.
What's up, yo?
And the reason why they call him Mouth of the South is because he is a talker. He is definitely
not that bad.
He talks.
Whatever.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I mean, like I said, name's Paul. I'm originally from Mississippi. Grew up, actually born in Memphis, Tennessee. Moved to Nashville. Grew up there basically through elementary school. Then moved to Mississippi, basically through middle school, high school, and then all the way. So I went finished college. Moved up here to the D.C. area probably around 2009. I've been living and working out here ever since. I've been a diehard Cowboy fan as long as I can remember, probably back to the early 90s when they had their 2009. I've been living and working out here ever since. I've been a diehard Cowboy fan as long as I can remember, probably back to the early 90s when they had their last bit of success. And I've been highly following them ever since. This is probably one of the few years where that I've actually been able to follow their preseason just about the entire way through, the training camp all the way through. So I don't know about my boy Irv here, but I'm probably as inundated with every single thing I would possibly want to know about this team at this particular time as we get ready to start the season.
Before we get into that, Lincoln Hawk, yo, yeah, I saw that Charvarius Ward got traded to the Chiefs. I'm
not happy about it either.
I'm wondering,
but I see why they did it.
But I wonder what they got back. Did they get a?
I haven't seen.
Did they get a seventh-round draft pick? Because
I
you're
saw
not
the
getting
report.
Anything.
I saw the report earlier, just basically like within the last hour, that they had went ahead and made a deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to go ahead and make the move. I don't understand. I haven't yet seen the deal. I would, because he's an undrafted free agent. I don't understand how you would maybe get a player back for him. It's probably going to be a draft pick. Maybe the Chiefs feel like he's worth giving up a draft pick for.
Buddy, I don't know.
Maybe you use that for what you really need, which is to get yourself some safety depth, to get yourself some O-line depth.
Yeah, and that's probably what they're doing. And more than likely it's a draft pick.
They have depth at corner. There's no doubt that they had an ability to make a move there. They have, of course, they have the top two guys, Byron and Cheeto. They're good to go. They're going to be starters. You have, I would say, dependable backups in Brown and Lewis, although I would have loved to see better from them this preseason. However, you have your top four, and honestly, maybe a fifth guy is all you need at best at corner, because you're probably only going to have about 9 to 10 guys in your secondary anyway. So I can see why they made the move.
What up, Stevie Mac?
But it is what it is.
Now I look at it like this. Yes, we do have a stable of corners, but we don't have quality. We don't have
you got two
DBs.
Quality, and I think you have another quality one in Lewis. Although I don't like the way they handled him this offseason. I don't think making him be basically the fourth corner did a whole lot of confidence.
Bottom line is we need some veterans in.
I wouldn't mind them getting a veteran. Like basically, if they had kept it the way they were, I was probably going to have Ward on the 53 and probably have him be the fifth corner. Because they let him go, I would. If they're not going to bring him on, then get yourself. Now, but I don't think that's a high priority still because they need safety help.
Right. Now, real quick before I delve into the show, I thought that I was able to see the game myself, but apparently because I live in the Eastern region in the DMV, because the Redskins are playing the Ravens, and literally their stadiums are like 30 minutes apart from each other. So it's like literally like what they call it, the Battle of the Beltway. So since that's getting shown here, I can't even watch the Cowboy game. But I think my boy here has.
I'm gonna try to see if we can get something set up on Game Pass for us.
That way we can get updates so we can talk about the game. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get this 53-man roster set. Now, let's talk about, first of all, let's talk about what who's going to who are we looking at in this game right now? As far as standout players, people that are bubble players that we're looking at to try to make this team. Now, I know that Rico is definitely one of them. We're going to be looking at Rico. And
that's a whole discussion all to itself right there. We could probably take the whole video on
what's going on, Javier? Yeah. Now I'm looking at Bubble Guys, Lance Lenore. He's definitely one of them. Now I know a lot of you guys are down on Lance right now because he muffed the punt.
He shitted the bed. I'm sorry about my French.
No, it's fine.
He shitted the bed.
He shitted the bed. He did.
I mean,
now, but
now
the
you
first
should.
One, the
you,
first
if
one,
you
the
watched
first
him last year
we can
in the
forgive him
preseason,
for the first one.
That's fine. But if you watched him last year in the preseason, you should have already known. If you're trying to trust this kid to be one of your special teams aces, he's not that. I think he's nothing more than a good receiver, but he's not one of the top ones. And the way he did not show up as somebody that you could use as a returner, it makes him in jeopardy, at least from the perspective of the team. I would have liked to have him on the team, but I can't make a heavy argument for him, especially the way that he performed in a game like that. And I think they have a bias toward Deontay Thompson. The receivers coach already has a relationship with him.
The receivers coach and O'Quinn,
yes.
they
already have a relationship with him. They want him to be a presence on special teams anyway. He has, honestly, some of the best speed on the team.
Right.
So I think if he's healthy and they feel like they can get good stuff out of him, they'll go ahead and allow him to be their sixth receiver. And I think Lenore's fighting an uphill battle tonight.
I'll get back to that comment real quick. To answer Buddy, pulling the Charles Haley, but you already know the team right now is hurting as far as they're very careful with the guys that they pay for because they've been burned the last couple of years on these players, trying to get these players in here. They've been burnt. So, you look at when we had Morris Claiborne, we got him high pick in a draft and, went up in a draft to lose draft picks just to get this guy and turn out to be a flop.
Yeah.
Now he had his good times, but, he was injured most of the time we were with him. So what they're doing right now is, and also too, you got to realize that Jerry doesn't have as much control as y'all think. Jerry just signs the paperwork. The people that are making the decisions right now are Will McClay and Stephen Jones. Stephen Jones right now has taken over.
Is a penny pincher.
He's a penny pincher. He's definitely taken over this team, and he's looking at these players and he's like, what can we get as a bargain? Now, I understand in certain ways that you can bargain on certain things, but you can't bargain with everything. You can't do that. You definitely have to make sure that you get the right people in the right place. That's why it's imperative that they go out and get a safety. Do what you can to get Earl Thomas. And I said this about Earl. The thing with Earl is, and I said this in the last video, Seattle controls his destiny right now. Seattle is not giving Earl no favors. It's up to Seattle what his fate is. So they're gonna keep holding him out, and they're not gonna allow him to. They're not just gonna give him up. Now they most likely want to give him out because ever since he pulled that stunt where he came to the Cowboys locker room after the game last year, the team didn't like that. Players didn't like that. Coaching staff didn't like that. But again, it left a nasty taste in their mouth. But because of that, thanks, Noah, appreciate it. But because of that reason, they're looking at it like this. We're not going to do him no favors. We're going to make him suffer. We're going to make him lose money because you got to realize too, Earl Thomas is losing money right now. Every practice that he's missing,
let's make it plain. This is all in Seattle's court. Seattle doesn't want to allow the player to get what he wants. So they're going to basically, like you said, they're going to.
That's funny, James.
They're going to milk this as long as they can until he goes ahead and cowers, like most of these players do. Once the season starts, even if they miss one game, they're usually not capable of waiting out multiple games before they play.
Right.
Like one of the few experiences of this is when Emmett did it back in the day.
Yeah.
However, it's a totally different game right now. So I don't see. I find it hard to believe Earl's going to actually miss significant time to where they're going to be forced to actually make a move. If it happens where he's willing to miss, like literally not play at all this season,
remember,
then come October when it comes time for the trade deadline, then maybe they would consider. But I don't see Seattle making a move anytime soon unless the Cowboys come out with a deal similar to what the Raiders want for Khalil Mack, where they're going to be giving up 2 number ones. And I'm sorry, I'm not giving up 2 number ones.
That's why I said it, buddy. I knew
exactly
what you meant, buddy. I knew what you meant. That's why I said it. But the thing about it is, you have to also too. We play them week 3. Now I'm curious to see what's going to happen when we play Seattle week 3.
I think either he's playing for them or he's just going to be not there. I have a hard again. I'm very skeptical about this stuff happening because, I mean, we can make all these trades and all these scenarios happen in our minds. Yeah. Usually when it comes down to the nitty gritty, this stuff really is piecemeal. It's like pulling teeth to get this stuff to actually happen. And worse than that, you have a guy like Stephen Jones who is a penny pincher and never wants to give away big assets or big money for a particular player. So, and again, Seattle does not need to do anything. They can literally ride this thing out. If he doesn't want to play with them, fine. We have you under contract to the end of the season. After the season, then you can do what you want to do. But until then, we're not moving unless we get exactly what we want. And because the Cowboys are in the state they are in now with their safeties, a number 2 is probably not going to do it. If I'm the Seattle, I would be telling, unless you come up with a 1 or a 2 that becomes a 1, we have nothing to talk about.
But the problem is they're asking too much for him.
As they should, because they have the leverage right now.
They have the leverage.
If the Cowboys win the season with a healthy 3 set of corners, with the 3 set of corners we thought we were going to have, they're all 3 of them healthy, then maybe you would have some level of leverage because you'd have everybody healthy, and you would probably have Xavier Woods playing at a level to where you feel like you don't have to make a move. That's not the case anymore. The leverage is all in the hands of Seattle. That being the case, I don't know what you're going to do right now to make that move happen.
Well, you see how things could go from sugar to shit in 2.5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
You see all of a sudden.
Oh, they could suffer some.
All of a sudden, we had safeties on this team. We went into training camp confident with our DBs. And all of a sudden, you get these injuries. Now with the offensive line as well, you got to find people. That's why I tell people you got to be careful when you start trying to trade away your players.
I agree.
Just because it's a strength of your team. Be careful with that because, you know.
I think as far as the corners are concerned, I don't think they did anything that's going to hurt them because they can give up a war. I don't think they can give up any more corners because, like, a guy like Duke Thomas is probably going to be something they were going to be looking at. A guy like Columbo was probably a guy they were going to be looking at. Those guys they're probably not going to be doing anything with until they can see what else is out there come the weekend. But Ward was a guy that could go ahead and, play around.
Get it through. I'm gonna go ahead and start with. So I didn't mean to get off track, but just to piggyback on what Buddy was talking about with the Charles Haley reference. But again, as far as this game goes tonight, we already know that it's the backups and the backups to the backups playing. There's no starters playing. Joe Looney is playing, and somehow I need to find out. I need to see something. I'm gonna try to work that out while we're doing this live stream. But I'm looking at Rico. I'm looking at Drez Anderson. Now, Drez Anderson probably doesn't have a chance to make this roster as a wide receiver, but he definitely. Put that right there. He can put it right here. He can definitely make this practice squad. Talking about Drez Anderson.
Hold on. To be perfect, go ahead.
If he plays well tonight, because all he did was make plays last game. He was on the team. He was on the team literally 4 days. Go over there, Coco. He was literally on the team 4 days before the last preseason game. He came in there. He played well, and he caught every pass that was thrown to him by the backup quarterbacks. And if he does the same thing this game, this wide receiver core is already. You already have like 4 to 5 spots already solidified. There's only 1 or 2 spots available.
Let me be honest. I'm actually pleased with the play we got out of most of the receivers during the off season.
I hear you.
I don't like the fact that Noah Brown didn't show up at all because of injury, but there's somebody like Drez Anderson, somebody like Mikael McKay.
Mikael's not making the team.
We know. Oh, no. I'm just saying as far as
Katie Cannon is definitely not making the team.
Those guys, I would like to seriously consider putting those guys on the
problem with Katie Cannon,
we have too much depth.
I don't mind
at least as far as like for a variety of talent. As far as quantity of talent, I think we have enough depth as far as receivers.
KD has problems with learning the playbook, and we don't have time.
Yeah. I mean, there goes that question.
Matt said, "Go Dallas third teamers." Yeah, well. That's what we got tonight, you know.
No, that's all you're going to see.
But look at it like this.
Perfectly honest with everybody out there.
Hold on,
if you think you're watching a fourth preseason game and seeing anything other than third stringers and fourth stringers, you don't know what the fourth game of the preseason is. Sorry, that's what you're going to be watching tonight.
Look at it like this, though. This is the last preseason game. Look at the positive in it. Saturday will be the roster drop down to 53. And then we'll start the season. September 9th, we will be playing the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Down. She wants so much attention. Can't do it right now. But yeah, so I'm stuck having to watch the Redskins Ravens game,
which is nothing to watch.
None of these games are technically worth watching, but we're Cowboy fans.
That's another thing. Just off the topic real quick. You think it's going to be a reality that they're going to cut down this thing to 2 preseason games?
Okay, so that's another thing that I talked about on my last videos. I actually would like to see the season get raised up to 18 games and dropping the preseason to 2 games. Or if you leave it to 4 games, you make it just a rookie or undrafted free agent thing. The only time that you even touch your starters in those games is the last preseason game, just to give them a warm-up before the season starts, because they get enough practice. I look at it like this: the veterans know what they're doing.
They don't want to play. They've gone on record saying they don't want anything to do with these
They don't. And if I was a veteran in the league, I wouldn't want nothing to do with these preseason games.
They keep getting hurt, left and right.
It's for the undrafted players, it's for the drafted players, and it's for the walk-ons. Let them get in there and play for these preseason games.
I'll say this: I'm more with your first plan.
Yes, Noel. 2 preseason games, 18 game season.
I'm, however, against raising it to 18 regular season games. I don't like the idea of you putting 2 more games on their bodies. I prefer if you were to either stretch over 18 weeks, 16 games, or 17 games. Add an additional bye is what I would want to do. But that's just me.
And see, and I hear you, buddy, about the whole trading Rico Gathers. This is the thing. I'm surprised they traded Travarius Ward. What are you going to get for these guys?
You're not going to get
anything. First of all, I want us to keep Rico for the simple fact that, like, what if he ends up going to another team and becoming it'd be like another Martellus Bennett situation where he goes to another team and he starts making plays. Hell, Martellus got a Super Bowl ring.
And good for him.
So
I mean, he found himself a good opportunity.
And he retired and he's doing this thing. But my whole thing is this. They need to keep Rico. You spent all this time trying to build him up. Sit down.
And to be perfectly honest, I can see where they can make that happen. Because at the end of the day, when you get down to the last 10 to 12 players that are going to be considered to get on this roster, there's not really an argument that I can make where you absolutely have to keep one of them over him. So if you want to keep the potential of him, I can see where you can fit him in. I can see where you can get all 4.
You don't cut a 6'8" tight end. You don't cut a guy that can grab the ball over a defender and get the ball. What other receiver tight end on this team can do that?
However, I'm only going to give Rico so much credit. At the end of the day, I understand he is a basketball player converted to a football player. But at the end of the day, you got to pick up something. You have to be able, if you're going to play meaningful snaps for the team, I got to be able to trust that we're not just simply throwing jump balls to you. I'm sorry, that's not a tight end.
We got Cooper Rush at quarterback.
Cooper Rush, I think he's going to start the game. Cooper Rush is going to probably play the majority of this game. Well, they probably won't do that. They'll probably try to give him a little bit of run because the dude has to play better than what he played this last game. But I think they're going to probably get most of the reps over to Mike White because they don't want to get their backup or who they presume to be their backup hurt. Then that's a whole nother can of worms they got to.
So, Chris, I'm actually watching the game on my frat brother's phone right here because it's not showing.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We're sorry, guys. We couldn't do it the way we wanted to do it.
No, but it's all good, though. Where there's a will, there's a way. And remember, God loves the Dallas Cowboys. But anyway,
Russian started. Lenore's out there right now.
Lenore's out there right now.
McKay, I just saw out there.
Mikhail McKay is out there now. As far as Rico goes, you got to keep.
Cooper can't throw that so high.
And I'm gonna actually go through the 53-man roster, and I'm gonna go through as many people as I can position by position and tell you guys exactly who I think might make this team. I'll be honest with you, the Cowboys already have about 40, 45 players that they already have that they're going to keep. If you guys watch the luncheon, the kickoff luncheon, Brad Sham already messed that up. We already know that Dorrance Armstrong going to make the team. Because he said when they were introducing Dorrance Armstrong, he said
had to change his number.
He's going to have to change his number.
Let's be honest, if you're a Cowboy, you can't go 74.
No, you can't. Can't have 74.
But no, I agree with you. I'm more so saying there's about 43 locks myself. And then there's probably about 10 to somewhere between. I'd say there's somewhere between 8 to 12 spots available for
definitely 3 and out
guys to go ahead and try to get
that first drive, first Cowboys drive, 3 and out.
But just get everybody out. Just get everybody out of there healthy.
Did he make it?
Okay. Oh, he made it. Yeah. Let me tell you something.
This
This kid, Brett Mayer, he's had a great offseason. He's had a great training camp. And he's been, honestly, if Bailey has any struggles, they put him on the practice squad and see if they can bring him up. I think they really like this kid, and they might actually consider, like, what's the contract situation look like with Bailey?
Well, he just signed he's with the Cowboys for another, I think, 5 years or something.
Another 5 years, so I mean, let's be perfectly honest, the kicker. If you can find yourself
I think I'm not worried about Bailey right now because of the simple fact
no.
What happened with Bailey last year?
That's more so down the road.
I mean, you got to understand. As a kicker, you need your groin. That is one of the most important.
No, he was compromised. Can we just not have the guy play in San Francisco anymore? Because every time this kid plays in San Francisco, he keeps on getting hurt.
No.
So can we just have him on a ban from San Francisco for the rest of his life, then maybe he'll be okay.
You see why we call him Mouth of the South?
I'm sorry.
That's why
I understand why every time you go to San Francisco, you pull something.
That's why his name is Mouth.
And the next time I see Jeff Heath do a kick, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm sorry. We don't need to ever see that again.
First of all, Jeff Heath.
He's good, but I don't need that in my life.
He didn't do bad.
Yeah. He didn't do bad, but we didn't pay that man to be a kicker.
57-yard kick by Mayer. That was.
We pay that man. Like, if you want to pay somebody to kick, pay that man. Don't be paying Jeff Hitt.
Mayer kicked that field goal and said,
Mayer did good.
He said, I'm trying to make this team.
Mayer's not gonna make the team, but he's gonna. I'll be honest, it's gonna be hard to get into the practice squad because if he keeps on doing stuff like that, somebody's gonna probably go snatch him.
Whenever we play San Francisco and Arizona, there's always some weird, funky injuries going on. And also the Saints too. Y'all remember that year when we had Lance Dunbar, where he caught the ball and his legs
is so frail, though.
My God, Lance could have been Lance. I hope Tavon Austin comes in here and becomes what we were trying to do with Lance Dunbar. Now, Ross
Smith is very versatile. He can catch the ball out of the backfield.
That's a big boy. I didn't know.
Good speed.
I didn't know he was 6'3".
He's a good kid. He's a good kid. He's a guy that there's a reason why they molded him. He was originally going to be a fullback for him. Now they've made him into their second back. He was really good last year when they absolutely needed a back to spell them until Zeke got back.
Yes.
Like you saw what he did in the Giant game, where he was other than the big play that the Dez made, his play where he just basically took it straight to the house. Was amazing. That kid's got some. You
have to look at what we have at running back, and
they're deep.
It wasn't Bailey. It was Mayer.
No, Bailey's not playing tonight.
Bailey's not playing
There's no way they're allowing any of their regular starters to be playing.
Yeah, nobody but Joe Looney is playing.
They need him to get some reps.
But I will say this: you look at our running back.
Honestly, you really want Looney playing too much tonight.
They're only going to play him probably the first quarter.
Okay. Because you got a little bit.
They're going to let what's that guy's name? In Zoglu. That one guy can't pronounce.
I can't pronounce that name. I'm sorry.
He's gonna play.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. If anybody can send us the manner in which you pronounce that name, I'll be so grateful to you. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do that. That offensive lineman that we have is most likely not gonna make the team. I think Stanton was another guy they were looking at, but he got hurt.
Stanton got hurt. So.
Yeah, he did. I don't think he's going to make. I think he had a shot to make the team if he didn't get hurt.
I don't think they needed to get it. Was that bad.
I think if they're going to add another lineman, they're going to probably try to see if they can find themselves a backup, another center.
Well,
they need a backup,
well,
a credible backup.
Let's see. Let's look at what we got with the new guys with Matt Diaz.
We'll see. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary so far. I think as far as snaps are concerned, but I really need Rush.
No, but what I was saying about as far as our running backs go, you look at Zeke. You look at LVE is not playing. I think LVE is still dealing with soft tissue injuries. So LVE is probably not going to play until the.
He is going to play. They've already said that he's going to play in Carolina.
He's going to play in Carolina.
He's going to be a backup. I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to primarily use him in nickel for pass coverage. They're going to probably do like him, like they were trying to do with Jalen. Initially last year, they did not want Jalen to play a lot of snaps. Initially last year, they want him to be playing mostly first and second downs, if anything, and then try to bring in Hitchens in.
The game.
They're going to do the opposite now. With
the game is actually not shown here in Maryland because, again, the Redskins and the Ravens are technically both Maryland teams. So, because they're both in Maryland, they're like literally just staying 30 minutes away.
Pass.
So you got to get a game pass to actually watch the game.
You can get a free trial if you go ahead and do now. You can get a free trial. You can go ahead and grab it now.
If you got Game Pass on your phone or whatever, you can watch it on your phone or something like that.
Ellington's got a little bit of something in it.
I'm looking at the Texans right now. The Texans are going to be a very mobile, fast team this year. They got all their studs back on defense, and they got all their studs.
They got Watt. They got they still got Merciless. They still got Clowney. If they stay healthy, they got probably one of the best defenses in the league. And if they keep their quarterback healthy, they could actually do something this year. The kid looked good last year. It's his sophomore year, so we're going to see just how good he is once he has to go at it again. And now teams are going to have film on him and be able to study and prepare for what he likes to do. Because I think Sean prefers to be playing out of the pocket.
Yeah.
So they're going to probably do to him like they did to Dak last year, where they try to keep him in the pocket and see how good of a passer he is from there. So we'll see how that works. But no, he's got a bright future, and they got a really good future as long as they can keep that kid healthy.
So Lenore caught the punt return.
No more.
But that was it. He got stopped when
I don't know about y'all.
Hold on. Just so y'all know, I think Lenore might actually make this team. Hold on. The reason why I think he might make this team, don't think I'm crazy, because think about it. If the Cowboys were really mad at him, do you think they would still be letting him field them?
No. I don't buy that. I think that kid is going to get as many reps as he can because first of all, he's one of the few guys that they're going to allow to get out there and return kicks tonight because there's only going to be so many players they're going to have available to them tonight because so many people are sitting. So he's going to – somebody's got to return those kicks. So, I mean –
that defensive front for the Texans is good. They just they just stopped Darius Jackson in his tracks.
Keep in mind who's on your offensive line right now. No offense.
Again, we playing backups. I'm not worried about.
I mean, is Chaz Green in there?
But speaking of the running backs, back to what I was saying about the running backs, you guys got to be happy about what we have with the running back position. We already know what Ezekiel Elliott can do. You got big, strong Rod Smith.
Nice. Look at that looseness.
Good job, Jack. I think Darius Jackson gonna make this team. Okay, so let's go to the roster breakdown. So we can do this real slow. Let's start with the quarterbacks. Now, the quarterbacks is probably the easiest prediction. It's simple.
You have your starter in Dak.
Got that.
As far as your back, I think you only want to carry a second.
Cooper Rush is going to be there.
The question is, do you want to carry Mike White because you fear you think
what I would do is put Mike White on the practice squad.
Here's the question: can you get him to the practice squad? Do you think there's enough film on him where somebody would pick him up?
He hasn't played. There's going to be quarterbacks from other teams that's going to be dropped from these teams.
People are looking for backups right now.
They're not looking at Mike White.
Are like peeking out there to see what kind of backups are out there.
Daggone pick six.
And if that's Rush, then I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Rush. What's going on, Raymond?
This isn't good. No offense, guys. This is why right now the Cowboys are looking at backup quarterbacks.
He say Cupper Rush. not Cooper Rush, but Cooper Rush.
You know, he's not playing worth getting his name right.
That's
now.
Crazy. Like
he. Hey, let's be honest. It's his second year. You're not going to probably see the same mix as you saw the year prior.
No, Stevie, I don't know who they got to trade for War for. I'm trying to figure that out.
They're looking. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. Cowboys, in addition, like it's not their first thing they're looking for as far as a backup quarterback. Their first priority is looking at O-line depth and safety depth. They are looking at a backup quarterback. There are some out there. I think RG3 is probably the best backup available out there. But they're looking at options out there because I'll be perfectly honest with you. I have not been pleased with what I saw out of Rush. I think if they don't make a trade or pick up anybody before Saturday, I think the initial 53 will have Cooper on it. But they will not necessarily not look for additional help throughout the week. Because as you all know, they have the 53 that they have to present on Saturday. That does not mean that that's the 53 that will be available to them come Monday. They will make some trades.
What is this?
They will make some changes.
You got the game plan on your phone?
This is Game Pass, NFL Game Pass.
Yeah, so Demetrius' NFL Game Pass is what he has it on his phone.
Like if you have an NFL Network account, you can go ahead and log in, do that, and then just go ahead and set it up. But no, that's my thing. I just don't. I'm not comfortable with Cooper Rush the way he back up. But let's be perfectly honest. There's not a lot of great backups out there right now.
Jason Garrett is comfortable with it.
Let's be perfectly honest with you. Jason Garrett, look what else is out there other than RG3. What else is out there? And I'm sorry. Are you really comfortable with RG3 being your backup?
I actually would be. I've been watching the Ravens.
You are going to have to give up something for RG.
The Ravens are not giving him up. He's there. He solidifies the backup.
I don't think
because Jackson.
If you gave them
Jackson right now.
If you gave them something good for RG, they would because they don't. I think they wouldn't mind for the rookie to be the backup because they want to have him play some this year.
Jackson is not ready to start.
No, he's not. I think they do want to have.
That's
some
the reason why they're going to keep him.
They're going to keep him.
The Ravens are going to keep him as third, and RG3 is solidified that backup spot.
Now, that would be smart by now.
I'm actually happy for RG3 that he's matured and he learned from his diva-ness coming into the league.
He needed to shut up.
And again,
you need to learn to shut up.
I've been watching him play since he's been on the Ravens, and he's been
playing well. I'm sorry, I haven't had a chance to. Is he playing tonight? I don't think he's playing tonight.
He'll probably play later in the game, but they had Lamar Jackson.
They're trying to get him some reps.
Yeah. They gotta get the young guys some reps. But as far as our backups, I mean, you look at what we got with Cooper Rush. I mean, I've seen him do better last season. I don't know if, and I don't want to make excuses for him, but I'm just saying I've seen Cooper Rush play better last year. And I don't know if it's because of the simple fact
he played better when he came into the San Francisco regular season game.
Right, but I think it might have been because we have a whole, technically outside of Beasley and Terrence, we got a whole new wide receiver core. And the only person that has a real,
and he hasn't been playing with a regular set of guys.
He's just been in with random.
The offensive line has been in flux every time he's come in the game.
Dak is the only one that has real reps, to be honest with you. And you know your backups don't play that often as far as quarterbacks.
He's taking the lumps. Let's be perfectly honest. There's a lot of holes around him right now, and he's taking the lumps, so they don't have to worry about that.
Hey, yo, Stevie Mac, you funny as hell, dude. My man said Chaz Green would be a terrible toll booth worker. He just lets everybody do it.
Chaz Green needs to be cut. I mean, I'll just say it right now. Can we go to O-line?
I agree. Yeah, we can already go.
Let's go to O-line right now. I mean, your locks. I think the locks are very simple. You know, your left tackle, Tyron.
We know you're starting five.
Well, here's the thing. You know, Tyron, Connor, Travis, Zach, and Lyle will be on there. I think also Looney is.
Joe Looney.
Looney's going to be.
Looney's
going to be your starter because Fred.
I love Looney ever since he got with the team.
Not a given.
I just love his personality.
Also, I think Cameron Fleming's going to be your swing tackle.
He's going to be your swing.
Kadeem Edwards.
He actually might make this team.
Kadeem Edwards, because of the state of the line right now, I think he has to be on the team right now. If, let's say, for instance, Travis Frederick was healthy. And Marcus Martin was healthy, Kadeem Edwards would not be on the team.
Hold on. Raymond, you talking about Chaz Green is the worst player in Cowboys history? You talking about as far as?
Oh no.
Hold on. Did you forget about?
Back.
Hold on. Did you forget about David Arkin?
Did
you forget about David Arkin?
You don't y'all don't understand. Y'all need to think back to those 8-8 seasons, to some of the centers that Romo had throwing balls all over the place to him. You didn't always have Travis Frederick. You had some of the worst centers in the league back then. So you need to count your blessings that you even have OC, whatever his name is, back there. There's been way worse than him.
It's Looney.
Looney is a quality backup, and you're going to see when he comes in, he's not going to be as good as Travis. You're not asking him to be as good as Travis, but he'll be a serviceable replacement for the time being. And that's all you really can ask of the guy right now. And he's been that way. Every time he's come in the game as a guard or whatever, he's always giving them quality play.
Go.
Now, having said all that, Travis Frederick is going to be on the 53. They're not going to go ahead and put him on to IR because they need to have him on the initial 53 in order to move him to IR for return. If they don't, then they're going to have some issues. So they're going to put him on the 53 after the weekend. Once they see what they've gotten, I think eventually they'll go ahead, move him to IR, because they have probably be out for 6 weeks, and hopefully he's okay.
8. So
8 weeks.
The thing about
and hopefully
the IR,
he can come back with the second half.
Now the thing about the IR, now, like you said, they have 2 options with Frederick. They can actually keep him on the roster and save that position, and then whenever the medical staff says, "Oh, he can play," they just throw him in the game, or they could just, like he said, put him on IR for the 8 weeks, and he's just out for 8 weeks. Well, the Texans just scored. So.
You're gonna hear that a lot tonight, guys.
Yeah, you're gonna hear that a lot. Alfred Blue.
Let me tell you something. Them starters,
they're playing their starters.
Playing either.
But see, the thing about it is
they are playing their starters.
They're playing their starters. Alfred Blue is a starter.
No pressure look.
They're playing their starters.
Touchdown, you take it every time. But in order
I know, Ray.
Out there, you gotta have legitimate
I'm hip.
threats at that wide receiver position.
So now, and that's what we got with the offensive line. You look at what we have with running back.
They're going to have the 5 starters. They're going to have Kadeem Edwards.
We talked about that already,
and,
I just don't know what they got for Ward.
They're going to add a 9th. I think eventually they're going come Monday add another offensive lineman for some additional depth.
And when I look at this running back position, we already know that there's Zeke, there's Rod. What do you have behind them? Are they going to go with a 3rd, or are they just going to go with 2 and the fullback? Now, if you go with 3, the toss-up is either Bo or Darius Jackson, because we know that Trey Williams and Chun are both going to get cut.
They're
done.
They have too high.
It's too much for them
anyway. And let's be perfectly honest about this 3rd running back. He is not going to get a lot of reps.
Miller might be their starter, but Blue is their change-up back. So it's almost like they don't have a bell cow like the Cowboys do. They
Here's the thing. The third
he
back
technically is a backup, but they interchange them a lot. They don't do like we do.
They're going to split
and run Ezekiel.
They're going to split snaps.
Elliott all.
Here's the thing. I don't believe that the 3rd back is going to get a lot of snaps.
Yo, Peterson looked like he's going to be a player for the Redskins, man. That's going to be scary.
It's one game, and honestly, it's a preseason game with barely anybody of consequences playing. I don't really buy into that. Let's see what happens when the actual game starts. Last time when he was on the field, he looked trash.
Now, I wouldn't say that we're screwed for the season for depth because it's not over yet. We still got to cut down to 53. There's still going to be players out there.
Count your blessings. They're doing a lot better in depth than they've done in years past.
Yeah, I mean,
the fact that they're really only looking at O-line and safety is probably about as good as you could ask for.
Yeah,
and you already know there are going to be some positions that you're just not going to have the same level initially in the season that you've had.
It goes back to
you won't have the same level of tight end. You won't have the same level of receiver, but you do have quality depth enough in those positions.
I agree. Kellen Moore doesn't have coaching experience, but it's gonna take time.
That means nothing.
And it's preseason. It's preseason right now because nobody's implementing the game plan. But also too, as far as depth goes, you have to look at it like this: you can't have a stake on every plate because we live in the salary cap era.
Hold on, real quick, Raymond. I'm sorry. Did you watch Adrian Peterson last year? I'm not talking about the Adrian Peterson that's going to go in the Hall of Fame. I'm talking about the Adrian Peterson that was playing ball last year, and when he got him to the squad for the Saints, he was trash. He did not fit. He did not fit the scheme. He did not fit what they were trying to do. He does not have the same abilities that he had before. Now, will he have some flashes here and there? Yes, he will, because he's a Hall of Famer. He will have flashes, but he will not be able to give you sustained excellence at that position like you've had in the past, which is why they didn't want to be having Adrian Peterson on their team. They wanted that young kid that that blew out his knee to start. Blew out his ankle to start the season. So I'm sorry.
He said he was joking.
I hope he was joking. I'm telling you, if you haven't been watching the kid, that hurts me to say that about
Hey,
Adrian.
Raymond, I told you,
I love Adrian.
That's mouth of the South right there. You get him started, he just go. Poof.
But no, I mean, but as far as the running backs, I think it's very simple between Bo and Darius. I don't think there's going to be a lot of snaps to be had by either one of them, because Zeke's going to take the majority of them, and whatever's left is really going to be going to Rod. Really, whoever's playing that third slot, you need to be having them play some special teams and be able to do something other than just running the ball. I think Darius is a better option for that. I think Darius has the ability to be a returner. I think Darius has better speed. I think Darius has better elusiveness.
What I would do,
however, I can see why they would go with Bo, because he is the recent draft pick. He has some size. He can fulfill a different role than simply what we get out of Zeke and Rod, where he could just use a whole lot of bulk just to plow the line at times. But I don't know.
This is where I will go. This is where I will go with the running back. Zeke, Rod, Darius Jackson.
Alex wants White in so bad.
I don't know why. I mean, they're both going to play. They're going to play half and half.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush playing the first half, and Mike White's playing the second. It's just going to be trash on top of trash. Now, I'm not trashing these players. I'm just saying that
it's the fourth preseason game. It's trash against trash.
They ain't got nobody to throw the ball to. They don't have an offensive line holding them. It is what it is. I mean, I want to see some of you guys go out there and stand behind these lines.
It's the bottom of the depth chart, people.
And you got these defensive linemen coming at you.
When you're at the bottom of the depth chart, this is what you get. You ever looked at the bottom of a trash can? That's what you're seeing right now on the field right now. I'm sorry.
The Texans actually had a lot more of their starters in the week too. So you got to look at that.
3rd down and 5 on the slant. The pass incomplete. Virgin on the coverage.
Who was that?
Mikhail
McKay. But that wasn't his fault. The ball was off the mark.
I think White actually played.
But if they put Bo on the practice squad though, give him that time to learn how to be an NFL player. I guarantee you.
I'm still skeptical.
When we get back to this point next year, Bo is going to be a monster. But just give him that time on the practice squad. Just let the players that have the experience right now. You let Darius Jackson go one time. You got him back. You might as well keep him, because what was the point of even bringing him back if you just going to go ahead and cut him? You know what I mean?
I think you need to be prepared for the fact that you want to get Bo back. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it.
No, he'll clear waivers.
I'll be honest with you. He has enough talent to where I won't be shocked if somebody.
Yeah, Bo does remind me of a Marion Barber.
There's been penalties on.
Or hell, if you're a Giant, there's any Giant fans out there. Who's the kid that was that big back? Brandon Jacobs. Like he's got that kind of size and stuff.
Appreciate it, Raymond.
Number 31 receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down. Timeout.
Treston Dake.
Yeah, Barber's a good comp. I still think that they're gonna need some season on him, and they're gonna need for him to develop skills other than just simply running through the lines.
Scores 3-7. Texans.
All right, let's move on to the receivers.
Actually, before we get to the receivers, let's go to the tight ends right quick. Now, we kind of already talked about it.
Be on this for a while,
right?
First of all, is there anybody out there that just is really wanting to see Rico out there?
Everybody. All of my subscribers love Rico.
Have y'all really watched? Here's my thing. Have you really watched Rico? Here's my thing. I don't know if people have really watched Rico the entire time that he's been a camp.
They're not going to sign nobody back.
And you can say what you want about him being a converted basketball player. It doesn't change the fact that you need him to do tight end stuff. Hey, Jermaine, I get it. You need him to do tight end stuff. You can't just have him go up and just catch lobs.
Actually,
Sorry, that's not how this game works.
He's catching more than live. You look at him last preseason last year when he was catching.
That's last preseason. I can't go based off last preseason. I gotta go based on what I see now.
My philosophy is if you've done it once, you can do it again. And he's done it more than once.
Okay, that's one thing, but what have you done right now to show me that you can do it again?
Did you see the last game where he caught the ball over the defender?
That's one play. That's my problem. Why does everybody get so enamored with one play?
Rico has caught more balls than any of these other tight ends in this preseason, even Swain.
I'm sorry. I get it.
Swain is your starter.
I see the look. And I'm not saying that he doesn't make the 53. I'm just not saying that you should be putting all your stock into him.
If RG3, they're not going to cut RG3.
They're not cutting RG3.
They're going to keep him.
He's going to keep him. If anything, they're going to try to get something for him. They're not cutting him.
He's going to be back. It was Jackson's not ready. Jackson's not ready to be
back. Now, again, Jackson may look good tonight, but he's playing against 3rd and 4th stringers here. Let's be honest about it.
Because your boy Ozzie Newsome is trying to go out with a bang. He's trying to make sure Lamar Jackson got all the tools
he needs to get as many reps as possible. He needs to show he can throw. Because he's shown he can run.
So look, check this out. As far as Rico goes, right? We know that he's not a blocker. I don't give a damn right now. The boy can catch the ball. We don't have a lot of spectacular ball catchers on this team right now. The last one is I'm not going to mention, but you already know who that is. But I believe that Michael Gallup can go for the ball, and I think that
Gallup is the best receiver on the team.
And Alan Hearns can actually block and do the damn thing too.
He is the second best, I would say.
Oh, good tackle. Who was that?
That's right. As far as your outside receivers, I think Gallup and Hearns will prove to be the best. I think your best all-around receiver is still Cole Beasley until Gallup develops himself.
But over there,
and you can still get good play on guys like Terrence Williams. And I think there's a way that you can utilize Tavon Austin. Do not get married to throwing the ball to Tavon Austin is my whole thing. He is a good player. He's not a great player.
Cole Beasley would definitely be Dak's go-to guy.
He's the guy already see that. You should still use Tavon in certain packages. They do not need to devote the entire offense to Tavon. Their offense needs to first of all start with Zeke, and then look for Cole, look for Gallup.
Neither are we. We're not 100% on none of these tight ends, but again, Swain is going to be your starter off of the strength of he's been here the longest.
He's the best blocker.
He's the best blocker.
He has shown an ability to catch the ball down.
Blake Jarwin is your second guy, so you're going to have like
he's a wide. He is not a tight end.
Your two tight ends.
I'm only y'all to get understand when you watch Jarwin, that's not a tight end. That kid does not know how to block. He is at best going to be. I'll be perfectly honest with you. You probably got Gavin Escobar again.
Ooh, look at that.
Only difference between Blake Jarwin and Gavin Escobar is you spend a second-round pick on Escobar.
These young guys trying to get up in there. Who's that, Arkin?
We talked about 3 points a couple of weeks ago.
That might be it.
Yeah, it's Arkin. But yeah, so I'm looking at it like this. We got what we got at tight end. You don't need your tight ends to be all that great blockers. You need them to get in the way, especially with this team. All of our running backs can block.
Oh, let's be perfectly honest. Witten didn't much. Witten was mostly getting in the way toward the end of his career.
Witten wasn't a great blocker either.
Swain is the best blocker when they're going to be doing most of their packages. When they're doing their heavy personnel, he's going to be one of the guys that they use. Otherwise, well, what they would have done before Frederick got hurt was they would have probably brought in Looney for additional heavy packages. But now that's going to probably change things a bit.
Hey Tim, I don't necessarily think that Jalen's going to surpass Sean Lee as far as that goes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give it a year. He still needs a year of actual play in the league. Last year was nice for him to get his feet wet. He still wasn't able to play like sustained for an entire year. Let's give him a full year at full strength to see what he looks like.
This is going to be Jalen's first year of actually having confidence on that knee and playing full.
And he looks good. And he looks fluid. He looks like he has speed back. If you watched him in some of the practices of late, like the last practice that they had, he was able to go 30 yards down the field and knock a ball down. Nearly got a one-handed interception.
Yeah.
He's got the ability. He's got the mindset.
I agree, Jalen.
He's the right type of guy you want next to Sean Lee leading this defense for years to come. he's perfect for what they want in that type of player. He's a great leader. He's got everything you would want. Now let's see him actually put it to practice for an entire year, and then we'll see whether or not he indeed can be the heir apparent, I guess you want to make him too, Sean. I think he's got that ability, but you need to see it over the
I think that he will be the heir apparent to Sean Lee when Sean Lee retires, or Sean Lee
and then LVE, and then more than likely
who's that? Is that Michael Gallup?
LVE and
Michael Gallup with the catch.
Gallup playing? Oh, he is playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's a rookie. He's still got to play.
Well, rookie's got to play.
Understood.
Don't matter where he is.
But no, I like LVE. Once he gets healthy, you'll be able to see what he has. He has an ability to cover downfield.
You will see him.
He needs to learn. He needs to get bigger. He needs to be able to tackle. I'm not sure how good of a tackler he's going to be this year. We're going to have to see.
One thing about LVE, the thing about LVE, and me and Vosh Lombardi talked about this when we was at the draft. Shout out to my man Vosh Lombardi, Dosky Woski, my brother. So at the end of the day, LVE is a great tackler, but the problem is if he gets a lot of blockers in his way, he gets hung up. You have to basically have the lanes open for him because he's a sideline to sideline player.
Jalen had a little.
That's the same type of linebacker I was when I played high school, when I played Arena League that one year. So when you look at that, you look at basically what these guys are doing as far as tackling and getting to the ball carrier. It's all about vision at the linebacker position.
And LVE's got the ability to be a very good linebacker. I think eventually he's going to become your weak side, and the Knight is going to be Jalen for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
They'll be chasing and
those are going to be your top two linebackers for years to come. But anyway, let's go ahead and finish up the discussion on the tight ends. I think everything I said. I think you're going to have 4 tight ends.
No,
I think there's a way that they can get all 4 on. It's just a matter of how the rest of the roster comes together.
But because of the
although one of them might get pushed off once the weekend comes, they got to add additional players.
Yeah, because Jalen's your strong side linebacker.
Jalen's strong.
He's strong side.
Jalen isn't strong. They wanted to make Jalen strong
Lee's weak
before
side,
the season.
And LVE
is before the season started, they did not realize how much they were going to get out of Jalen. So initially, they were thinking he would be.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's exactly what I said.
That's not what he's going to do right now. If you watch him, he's going to be a Mike. He is going to be the Mike this year, and he's going to be the Mike moving forward. Your strong is more than likely going to be Damian.
I've been doing that, Dre.
Although Joe Thomas is going to be a very nice addition, and he can play pretty much all over the place.
Now, as far as me watching tape, like I started doing that in the off season. I really got into it with Vosh because me and Vosh got mad. Pause. Me and Vosh got mad chemistry. Like when it comes to like doing this thing, like when me and him get together, especially in person, I need to definitely take a trip to Houston to go visit him because him and I, like we got that. We just have that chemistry. Like when we were at the draft, when we were walking around, we were talking. Like we definitely had that. And see, some people that you work with, as far as like a YouTuber or things like that, or you look at these sports analysts that are out here. What's his name? Skip, and Shannon are perfect together because they're both asses. They're both asses. They're class act asses. That's what they are. And so you get 2 guys like that together, they're gonna make money. That's what they do. So I look at it like this. I learned a lot from. Even though Vosh is younger than me, Vosh is a very intelligent dude when it comes to this film study stuff, and I really got into it. Now, granted, I don't do any film study on my channel because I'm not trying to get shut down because YouTube is so like tight on everything. So basically when I'm on YouTube, I'm just speaking to you guys from my perspective. That's what I'm doing.
Timothy, no, Rico should not be starting. I'm sorry. I'm not going to budge on that. He can play. He might make your 46. You are smoking something. If you think that kid is ready to start for you at tight end, sorry.
Well, what they'll do is this. If Rico
he's your 3rd tight end.
If he makes this roster,
maybe 2nd. I mean, Jarwin hasn't really shown much.
So
I can see where you can make him the 2nd tight end.
If Rico makes this roster, he will definitely be the guy that they're gonna give him packages. They're gonna give him a certain amount of players. They're not gonna make him the key tight end because the key tight end is
Rico
when we running 2 tight end sets, it's gonna be Swain and it's gonna be Blake Jarwin. Those are your 2 guys. Schultz is not ready. If I were
Jarwin
I would put Schultz on the practice squad.
Jarwin can be bumped because he has not shown anything.
He will be bumped. He will be bumped once Rico Gathers learn the playbook more.
I'm sorry, you've been playing with the team for three years. I'm sorry, that infuriates me when you say stuff like that.
I'm saying it because that's the truth.
I'm sorry.
Everybody
out there, y'all want to make excuses for Rico not knowing the playbook. He's been there 3 years.
I'm not making excuses for anybody.
Not you. I'm talking about
them. But I'm gonna tell you, some of these guys got learning disabilities too. You got to understand, these guys are human too. Everybody has something that they're not good at. You look at what's his name? My man Jamal Charles.
Joe said it best.
Jamal Charles had a learning disability when growing up, and he used to have a speech impediment. Like he couldn't read well. And a lot of these players, when they come in, everybody has their thing. But the love of football sometimes can catch you over that. You can learn, but it just some people are just slower. Some people are slower than us.
Not everybody picks it up as quick. I can get that. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. I'm not going to absolve the coaching staff for not figuring out a way to utilize this kid better than they have to this point.
Rico could be a red zone guy, but also he could be a deep ball.
He needs to be more than a red zone guy for us to be able to trust him on a regular basis. But you know what? I said my piece again. I can see where you have all 4. If you want to move Dalton Schultz to the practice squad, fine. I think they're going to pick him up though, just to be safe. I think they're going to make sure to not just go ahead and cut him. And they're going to figure out a way to have all 2 on.
You're right, Charles. Philly did punk Dallas into keeping Jarwin. They did do that, and that's kind of what messed up Rico to begin with. Was that situation?
Rico punked himself. I don't want to give any. I'm only going to give him so many excuses here. He put himself in this position.
Averaging almost 7.5 yards.
But anyway,
let's go with the wide receivers.
The wide receivers.
Now, and I've been speaking about this wide receiver core for a minute. There's a lot of these positions right now that are solidified.
I think your first 5 are set. Like I said, you already know Beasley, Hearns, Gallup. I consider them your starters. Tavon and Terrence Williams are your other locks. There's just a question of, do you want six receivers? And if you do you want Deontay Thompson or Lenore? And I'll be perfectly honest,
you're gonna have 6
I'm willing to go ahead and let go of Lenore and put Deontay Thompson on the team because he provides something that the rest of the guys don't other than maybe Tavon and that.
And he's going to be your kickoff returner too.
Yeah, so I can see a point where they're going to go forward with those 6, and Lenore was good, but he just wasn't good enough.
When you look at these wide receivers, you have to look at it like this, at this standpoint. We have a lot of guys that do a lot of the same thing. When you're looking at who's going to make this roster, you got to look at what does this guy do better than anybody else.
What separates?
Like
Tavon and Deontay, they have speed.
Are both of the fastest receivers and the fastest players on the team. So
the best receivers, in my opinion, are Gallup and Beasley. Gallup for his ability to catch just about anything that's on the field, and Beasley is probably about the most sound receiver in the way that he does his routes and everything. And Hearns provides you a big body receiver that can play inside and out. So, to be perfectly honest with you, Terrence Williams, in my opinion, is expendable. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked if they wanted to move a player since they had so many receivers. Would they consider moving?
I know March Lillard is doing. We'll get to the linebackers. Well, I really did. But
would you consider moving like one of the receivers like Terrence? Would you consider moving? Like, would you consider trading?
No, because the thing about
Terrence, in my opinion,
Terrence has a $3.5 million contract. As Terrence, you don't want to touch that. And I'm gonna tell you,
trade him.
I've been saying this all goddamn off season. I'm gonna keep saying it. Terrence Williams has a purpose on this squad. One, he knows the team. 2, he has a rapport with Dak. He doesn't have speed. He has quickness. It's a difference. He's shifty. and he's able to when the play breaks down and Dak's running out of the pocket trying to find somebody to throw it to, who's always there?
He did that in the Bengals.
Terrence Williams
did that when he was always there. Just stop body catching.
The slot is probably going to be
drops the ball so much because body catches.
Now I'm gonna tell you this. Williams is great. What he's good at is when he doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's good at pass and run block. You look at a lot of these holes that Zeke gets in the secondary. Terrence Williams is always right there. Watch this season. Start watching. I'm telling you. Watch what Terrence Williams is on the field when he doesn't have the ball.
They're still able to set that edge well with their receivers because the guys like it. Gallup's not that bad at it too. He's picked up on it pretty well.
The Governor's Cup. I don't know if you remember.
They have this standing thing, this standing rivalry between the two teams. Cowboys and the Texans, in-state rivalry where they battle for what's called the Governor's Cup. Although they got a regular season game, I would say that for the regular season.
It's like the Ravens and the Redskins.
Yeah, but like I said, I think the six are. I think
Noah Brown. I think they're gonna put Noah Brown on IR.
Yeah,
I think that would be smart. That torn labrum ain't going nowhere.
You haven't seen a thing from Noah Brown this entire offseason. You have to go ahead and just put him on IR and hope that he can get healed up and hopefully be an asset to you next year. I don't think it's going to be IR with a chance to return.
I like the fact that.
Do you want to make an IR with a chance to return? Because I don't know if you really want to put him on the roster.
No, you put him. Well, you can, because if we get injuries late in the season,
how many can you do IR to return?
Yeah, I think 2.
Like right now, I know Travis is going to be one of them.
I got.
Maybe you could make it him too. If it's 2, then maybe you could make it him as well.
I think it's 2.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I can make a case that he'd be your second IR to return.
One thing about the receiver core this year is going to be very different. Teams don't know what we're going to do, and we're going to start winning games off of the strength of the teams don't know what we're going to do. Now, I just hope.
Well, let's be perfectly honest. They know what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
It's going to be a run first.
And so are the Redskins with Adrian Peterson. So, I mean, it is what it is. That's the identity of teams that have a great running back. But can you stop Zeke? Probably not. That's the thing.
And to be perfectly honest, Dak plays well in that type of an offense. As long as they're able to establish the run, he's able to go ahead and then use the play action to find people downfield. And he's going to be able to do that because they have quality enough receivers. They can create separation. Gallup specifically has shown, like, there was a play last week.
Deontay Thompson is pretty good at
specifically Gallup. He beat Patrick Peterson, and if the pass was better, he had a touchdown waiting for him.
Oh yeah.
So Gallup has that ability.
That was Gallup's fault. That was Gallup's fault. He
jumped too early, but I still think the pass could have had more air underneath it. But anyway, he has that ability. Deontay Thompson has that ability to beat the defense. So they have the type of players that can go ahead and make plays down the field.
This wide receiver core is going to be interesting because we don't know if the Cowboys are going to keep 5. We don't know if they're going to keep 6. We don't know if they're going to go with 7. If they go with 7,
they're not going 7. They're not going 7.
You should not go 7 receivers when you have guys that are almost in the same category.
I love Lenore. He does not provide anything that you don't already have from the guys that are in front of him.
Does he still
that
have
includes Deontay Thompson?
I
think you could put him back on practice squad, although I think he's shown enough to where you might lose him. I think you might lose him.
If you get him off, there's teams out here like the the Chiefs. No, Jacksonville needs a
receiver. I don't know if they necessarily want to bring in a receiver like him because they lost Marquise Lee.
They'll take They'll take him because again.
But no, there's enough teams out there that need receivers.
Lance Lenore caught that?
You'll get an opportunity.
Speaking of Lance Lenore.
Just a tremendous job of executing a very difficult throw.
Yeah, he made a play. But anyway.
Prescott, of course, will be quarterbacking Jason Garrett's
team. And, of course, Jason Garrett with that same look on the sideline.
October 7th for a little Sunday night affair.
He is one of the most boring.
The clap. You said Dez will be in Jacksonville. I'm actually surprised.
No, Jacksonville's already stated they don't want.
They don't want Dez.
If you
Nobody wants.
Do you realize who's the president of operations in Jacksonville? No, I do not. I happen to have a.
No, I gotta have a
charger. Oh, darn it. I have a charger in my car.
Go get it. I got a block.
Get to the top of the route.
Let me go grab it real quick. I'll be right back, guys.
So
trying to defend it, does a nice job.
We'll continue that when he gets back. But as I was saying about these receivers, as much as
3-yard line on first down.
the front door right there, dog, to the left.
Scarborough with the carry.
Do me a favor, turn that light on out there too. You know how to do it?
On the play. Inside linebacker.
No, I got it. Hold on, guys. 1 second.
Well, I think it's the surest group of three with Bernard McKinney, Cunningham, and Dylan Cole that the Texans have had since D'Amico Ryan was circling around back there as a captain. But I think that
sorry about that. I'm back. So, we were just talking about that the governor's cut. They do the same thing here in Maryland with the Redskins and the Ravens. I think they call it something different. Now, I think as far as Dez going to a team, I think that people are going to literally wait till they have injuries. He's going to be like the last chance ditch effort. Because I heard even with Cleveland, like they tried to give him like a $5 million deal or something like that, and he was just like, nah, he didn't want it. So I guess Dez is gunning for himself. What he should have did was he should have took that Ravens deal when they gave it to him, because he would have been out there playing right now. It was really stupid, but I don't know what's going on in his mind. It is what it is.
He thinks that he can wait it out and somebody's going to get desperate and give them big money, and that's just not a bet worth taking.
Scarborough drop. Plug it in right there. You see that block right there on top of my table, my turntable? And you could just plug it in right there in that jack right there. But yeah, so I'm looking at Alan Hearns. I'm looking at Michael Gallup. I'm looking at Tavon Austin, Cole Beasley. You got Terrence Williams. That's 5 guys right there.
Can I just say one more thing, by the way? Jacksonville, I'm not sure if you said it. Tom Coughlin runs that team. Tom Coughlin has one of the strictest teams ever. Like they this past year, they benched Leonard Fournette in the middle of the season. So like, he's not going to put up with a guy like Dez. Where if y'all follow the Cowboys, you already know Dez is about one of the most unpredictable guys that you can find, and that's not going to fly with a guy like Tom Coughlin.
Yeah,
the dude. This is the same guy that was talking about you're late if you're late if you're on time. You're early if you're early you're on time. So like that the same guy that skipped out on the same guy that skipped out on getting treatment for an injury. Same guy that always showed up late to meetings. The same guy who just went on a Twitter tirade calling out former teammates and trying to call two of your captains traitors. That guy's gonna fly well with a guy like Tom Coughlin. Are you serious?
Well, we're not gonna go into Plaxico Burress. We already know how that ended.
Well, and I'm sorry. Did Plaxico stay on the team?
No,
sorry,
because he shot himself.
And he wasn't gonna come back to the team as a result of that. No, man, come on.
Well, that's the same thing I said. If Lance Lenore has a good game, then Deontay Thompson is not on this roster. But again, you also have to realize that Deontay Thompson has a spot because our special teams coach O'Quinn and Sanjay Lal won. So that's his boy. He was with him. He was with Sanjay with Buffalo.
It's an easy, and he's already shown the last couple of practices that he's got some ability to make moves.
You going
on the field and stuff?
You going to drink? Be safe out there.
But yeah. I think the receivers is pretty much cut and dry.
You see your Ravens playing. There
ain't nobody that she wants to see.
So yeah, y'all. I mean, you let the charge?
Yeah.
I mean,
we already went through pretty much the entire offense. Am I right?
What else we got on offense?
We went through the quarterbacks, we went through the line, we went through the running backs, we went through the receivers, we went through the tight end. So we're done with the offense. We're gonna move
so let's go with linebacker. I'm gonna go with linebacker first because somebody asked me about Justin Marshall. Hold on, wait.
He's got a shot.
Untested.
A small shot, but a shot.
Yeah, you're right. We will know by week 8. We might actually know by week 6 for real what we got with our wide receivers. But again, player acquisition is 365 days out of the year. So with that being said, they're always going to look to improve their team. That goes without saying. As far as these linebackers go, you know your top 3: LVE, Sean Lee, Jalen Smith. They're going to use them interchangeably. Damian Wilson has actually looked much better in this training camp than he has before.
He's going to be your starting strong.
He's definitely going to be your strong.
Joe Thomas is going to be your backup.
Joe Thomas. I'm loving Joe Thomas right now.
Joe Thomas is your backup. He has been a beast.
And Marsh Lillard is your guy, too. So you got your top 3.
I actually think Joe Thomas is going to come in before LVE to start. They're going to give LVE an opportunity to play.
No,
but I think Joe Thomas is going to get initially.
Don't Wilson play on his side, though?
Huh?
Don't Wilson play on his side? Don't he play the they both play the mic.
I thought that Thomas was a will. I think Thomas is a will. Thomas was brought in specifically to make sure that if they lose Sean Lee, they don't just totally fall off the map.
Yeah, so the weak side. So what I'm saying is we're definitely going to have
he can play some strong and everything, but let's be perfectly honest, in this defense, they're not going to be doing a whole lot
Thomas
of strong.
Definitely leads back up.
Now, they're not going to do a whole lot of strong. They're going to be doing a lot of nickel. When they go to nickel, usually it's going to be Lee and Smith, or if Lee's off the field, LVE would come in.
Marshall Lillard's going to make this team.
Yeah, Marshall Lillard, I think, can make it. Covington hasn't done enough. I would hope you could probably get him to the
Covington might be on the practice squad.
It
depends.
He's looked good, but he just hasn't done enough to where you can go ahead and trust him in a game or anything.
I want as my linebackers, I want Sean Lee, I want Jalen Smith, I want LVE, I want Joe Thomas, and I want Marshall Lillard. Oh, and Damian Wilson. So those are my 6 guys.
That's your 6.
That's my 6. Covington is going on a practice squad. Because he needs time to get better, and he needs time to.
He hasn't played enough.
He
came in late,
player, right?
Or not came in late, but because he had injuries at the beginning of camp, he got started late. He wasn't able to get in enough experience to where you can go ahead and trust him on the field. That's probably going to hold back LVE for a little bit too, because he had that injury himself. So those 2 guys, I mean, LVE is going to make the 53, but he's not going to get as much time on the field as he probably would have hoped for at the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Now
by midseason, you'll probably see a lot more LVE.
The linebacker core is pretty much solidified. I believe that's exactly what they're going to go with. That to me, like the quarterback position is the 2 easiest to make out. And I already know they already got the guys that they want for that. It says Skip Bayless said that Earl Thomas
won't be on the roster by Monday. By next Saturday,
I don't know about that.
No.
Like I said, Seattle.
Here's what's going to happen. Come Monday. Here's the thing. Come Monday, something's going to happen because come Monday they're going to have to start getting stuff in place for the first week of the season. If he reports to Seattle, you can say goodbye to him being on this roster.
That's not necessarily true.
Anytime soon.
That's not necessarily true either. Because the Cowboys could just get desperate and be like, you know what, we're going to give you our
They don't need to do that. They don't need to do that.
I agree. But
not to mention, I don't believe they will do that because this team has already shown, even when they are at a deficit, they're not going to break the bank to go get a replacement.
I think it's either week 7 or week 8.
Like when they lost Romo for pretty much the entire season the other year, what was it, 2015 when they lost Romo for the full year, they went and got Matt Castle. When they lost Romo the second year, they were trying to get Nick Foles and couldn't even make a good enough deal to get him. So I don't see this team breaking the bank because when they face dire positions in the past, they don't break the bank.
I don't think that they're
still going to stay as shrewd
I
as they
honestly
can
don't
be.
believe that they're going to break the bank with Earl Thomas if it gets to that point because of the simple fact that Earl Thomas wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. He's from Texas.
He's already played his hand.
He wants to be here. He's going to take a home down discount. He's not. He doesn't.
I won't say all that now.
No. I will say that because he said it himself. He said, if I go to Dallas, I'm not going to break the bank if I go to Dallas. If I stay in Seattle, I'm breaking the bank because they're going to have to pay me to stay.
Your boy,
that's what he said.
Your boy, biggest Cowboy fan, makes a good point about well, no. I thought he was saying about. I thought he said Lawrence. Marcus Joyner, no, dog, no. At the end of the day, they're gonna probably sit tight right now. As far as safety, they're gonna probably try to find them somebody that can be a backup more so that can be a starter, at least until Xavier Woods gets healthy, because Xavier Woods will be back probably by week 2 or week 3. It's not an injury that's going to be long lasting, so they feel like he's going to be their starter at free safety. They feel comfortable with him playing free safety, so there's no need right now in their mind to go and break the bank for anybody right now because of that.
Well, you look at the Cowboys; they're not saying anything, which is smart. They're finally not saying stuff. A lot of things that they need to shut their mouth on, as far as like
that's
like I hate to go back to the Des Bryant thing, but that whole Des Bryant
what
thing
would help is if Pappy didn't do all these.
Should have never got to the media.
If Pappy Jones didn't keep going on to these radio stations and having these long drawn out interviews, then maybe we wouldn't have to worry about them saying anything.
Jerry's old.
Jerry keep talking too much.
Jerry old. That's what he does.
Jerry talking about wanting some glory hole and stuff like
I don't know what the hell he means by he wants some glory hole, but
gosh, that brother said some of the stupid stuff.
What he
said
him
this week talking about if I would have paid so much money to get us a Super Bowl, it would have been obscene or something like that. Come on, man.
Yeah, you need to go ahead.
You're not going to do everything you can because you won't give up control of the team.
He did. We just had a conversation.
Not full
with
control.
Jones.
To his son. He's
the owner. He's
would he ever fire his son?
No.
Would he ever? No, he wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
No, because
he won't do everything.
When Jerry Jones leaves this earth, his sons are definitely going to take over the team.
But no, I'll be honest. I do feel more comfortable with Steven running the team because he will run it with some sense. Earl Thomas came up to. It doesn't matter what he said to Jason Garrett. All that matters is if he gets into a room with Stephen Jones and he signs a contract. Until he does that, my friend Timothy, he's not going to be a Cowboy. Sorry.
But the thing about it is he is right to a certain extent because of the simple fact that he said himself, he committed himself to being a Dallas
He didn't
Cowboy.
commit himself to Stephen Jones. Until he commits himself to Stephen Jones,
the Cowboys
he ain't committed to nothing.
But Stephen Jones said himself already in an interview, he said that if we have the opportunity to get him, we're not going to go out of our way to get him, but if
you're going to have to go out of your way to get him this year. If you want to wait till next year, fine. But you're going to have to go out of your way to get him on the field this year.
It's next year too late.
I mean, that's the risk that you run. I mean, that's the way it goes. But I'm perfect. I still say I have seen no evidence that with this front office, the way it's structured, them taking risks like that.
I just don't understand where Skip got that idea from.
Because Skip always says anything for a click. Y'all need to understand this. Skip just says stuff for clicks. He don't say anything that actually has any credence. That brother is a show. That's all he is.
Well, pretty much they all are.
They all are.
That's what they get paid.
But I mean, anytime he says that he has an insight into stuff, he don't know nothing.
First of all,
like Stephen A, I actually believe does know stuff because that man is an actual reporter. I don't know what the heck Skip knows.
I already don't like Stephen A. Smith. One, because
Stephen A is too loud. And then I'm saying that Stephen A is too loud. Yeah, I said it.
Well, y'all both loud. So
he's louder than me. And he's a raving lunatic about how much he hates the Cowboys.
And that's hard.
And I got something for him if I ever meet him in person, the way he wants to talk about these Cowboys.
I just look at it like this. If I'm not a fan of a team.
Skip is a homer, yes, but he goes overboard with it. You got to be reasonable with it.
He goes overboard with it when it's convenient for him.
Way convenient.
He has the ability to literally come in a room and just be like, he'll like it's like dropping a bomb. It's like, here, let me drop this stink bomb right quick in here and see what happens. So basically, that stink bomb is a statement or something that clickbait.
Stuff he keeps saying about LeBron.
And he just walks away. He just sits back.
The stuff he keeps saying about LeBron. The stuff he keeps saying about Aaron Rodgers. The way he shits on those guys. He don't really mean that stuff. He just says it to get a rise out of y'all.
I actually wonder if he's even really a Cowboy fan.
I think he really is. He just goes too far with it sometimes. But anyway.
Going forward, what we got going on now?
We started with the linebackers. I think we pretty much know that it's going to be 6.
Oh, so this defensive line is going to be real.
Defensive line
is going to be
one
real hard.
of the best they've had in the history of the team, or at least in the history of the.
Well, no. I'm not saying he doesn't want Earl. I was just saying, like, where did he get that Earl's going to be on the team next week? Like, I want to know where he got that from. That's all I'm saying.
I believe it when I say. Bottom line, if I'm looking for somebody with insight into the team, I'm not going to Skip Bayless. Sorry, no offense.
Well, when you look at what we have right now with this defensive line, with the injuries and the uncertainty of David Irving.
No. I'll tell you what's uncertain is Randy Gregory, whether or not he's going to be on that field week 1. Randy Gregory is a problem in the fact that you don't know whether or not you can trust that he can stay on the straight and narrow. He's going to be a problem
for the rest of the time with the Cowboys because of the simple fact that if he sneezes or farts too hard. And
he's already reportedly had a hiccup, which means that there's a very good chance he can go back under suspension.
If he shits on himself.
And if that's the case,
he's going to be
I'm sorry. I mean, you guys should have known what you were getting yourselves into. He's a great player. He has the speed. He has the elusiveness. He has all the skills you would want out of a pass rusher. What he doesn't have is an ability, as Stephen A. tragically says, to stay off the weed. He don't know how to do it. He just doesn't know how to do it. And I think he had some issues that brought some stress to him this past while he was in training camp. And I think he had a relapse. And now he's supposed to meet with a doctor to determine whether or not he can indeed play to start the season. I don't know if he will be able to do so because there's just too much smoke out there saying that he is going to be at a disadvantage of at least being able to. He's going to at least have to sit down at some point. So either way, they're not totally in dire straits because they have Taco and they have Dorrance Armstrong to come in and be able to take over that spot.
So let's say this. Let's say hypothetically, Randy Gregory stays on this roster. When you look at what we have with this defensive line right now, with our 2 edge rushers, with Randy Gregory and D-Law, we have a monster D-line, and we are going to put fear in opposing offensive lines and quarterbacks. They're going to be like, whoo, they're going to be running for their life.
Well, the biggest thing that shocks me is just how good the interior is. Like, we thought that we were going to have some issues on the interior, but Antoine Woods, Daniel Ross,
Dayton
Jones is going to make the team. He's 2 to 4 weeks, and I don't know if they want to bring him into the season. I just don't know. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll make him IR to return.
I'm wondering if they're going to keep Jihad Ward at this point because you remember
Jihad Ward needs to be cut. I mean, there's nothing that I've seen at Jihad Ward that warrants him having a spot on the team.
When he first got there, like he was doing really good in the first couple of practices, and then he kind of just fell off.
But when the lights came on the actual games, what has he done? So it's like Daniel Ross has shown up. Antoine Woods has shown up.
At the 1 technique and at the 3 technique, those positions are the lunch pail positions. Those are the positions that do all the hard work. They take on all the blocks. Too. Brian Price is making the team. We know that. I like Brian Price. I like what he did before he got injured. That was a good pickup from Green Bay. Just like
your interior is pretty much going to consist. In my opinion, your interior is going to consist of Malik Collins if he's healthy. Malik Collins, Antoine Woods, a guy like Brian Price coming off the bench. And I think right now they're going to try and make a guy like Tyrone Crawford. They're going to try to move him inside and have him be a tackle. So I think those are going to be your interior line, defensive linemen right now.
Now,
Daniel Ross, I wouldn't mind seeing him get on the team, but I just don't know if they have enough room.
It's going to be somebody that makes this team. It's going to be there for the first 4 games of the season, and then when David Irving comes back, somebody getting cut.
Well, that's going to probably be Brian Price.
If he's in place. No, Brian Price is not getting.
Well, no, I don't think. I don't think they're going to get rid of anybody as far as on the interior. I think they might get rid of another spot. They might just try to add another body.
Because you still got Charles Tapper. You still got
Charles Tapper's not making
Coney Ely.
Coney Ely should not make the team. Coney Ely's only going to make the team if they're just trying to get guys that have versatility.
What I'm saying about the person getting cut, if Coney Ely makes squad, it'll be because David Irving's not here.
He'll be the last guy.
Once David Irving come back, Coney Ely is
He'll be the last guy. Like, I'll say this. I can see him being the last guy.
All I see is Texans just making plays. Like, did they just hurt somebody? It better not be nobody that's going to be on this team. Who was that?
Who's 14?
Oh, that's Lenore. That's Lance Lenore.
They undercut him. That's Lenore.
Well, they just injured
and
Lance
if
Lenore.
That's an injury, that just goes ahead and just solidifies who your receivers are.
And I know he's thinking, he's on the ground thinking like, I feel bad for him.
He hit him right in the knee.
He might be all right. Just, when you get hit in the knee, that shit hurt.
Is he walking on his own power? Yeah, he's
David Irving is a head case, and he's not reliable. But when he's in
David Irving, honestly, I trust less than I do Randy Gregory.
I don't know who I trust
Randy
less.
Gregory got to camp. Randy Gregory has been with the team since they started camp. Randy Gregory, if they let him play, could play tomorrow. Could play when the season starts.
And he will play when the season starts.
Irving, when he comes off a suspension, I have no guarantee if he actually can play. Because he has not shown up for training.
He better be a club med right now.
He barely showed up for OTAs. He was out of shape when he showed up for OTAs. There's no guarantee he's going to be ready to start when he comes back.
Bo said, I'm gonna make this team.
Like they'll probably activate him when his suspension is up.
I don't know
if you can trust him.
I don't know what it is with David Irving. Come on, like he be making so many excuses. And I'm like, bruh, you make NFL money. If the reason why you're not there is because you couldn't find nobody to watch your daughter, that's retarded. The 80% of these players on this team got kids, bro.
Let's just go ahead and say it like it is. David Irving doesn't want to be a football player. He doesn't really want to be a football player, since if you want to be a football player, you're going to figure out how to handle these sort of situations. He hasn't, so honestly, I don't see why you would trust that he's going to give you anything this year. Because Randy Gregory's already shown that at the bare minimum, he's going to give everything he can.
James, what are you talking about?
And that's not something you can guarantee out of David Irving giving everything he can. He gives a little bit here and there. That's why every time you see him make plays, it's lovely, but they're once in a million.
Let me tell you something. You got people out here that don't make the NFL. They've been trying they're playing football since Pee Wee, since Pop Warner, trying to make these teams, and they don't make it to the NFL. And I know they're sitting there watching guys like David Irving, and I'm like, just squandering him, Rolando McClain,
other
people
than
that
Lawrence
just don't have their heart
Gregory,
into.
He has the most talent on that defensive line, and he couldn't care less. Couldn't care less. That's why you're not going to get anything out of it.
I can't fathom.
Yeah, Lenore's down. Hopefully he gets a chance to come back in the game. It looks like he was able to
that dude undercutted his knee.
Walk under his own power. So we'll see.
I'm definitely going to replay the game, but I mean, I may not because it's.
They say replay of tonight's game is tomorrow on the NFL
They're
Network.
going to replay it again tonight at 2:00 in the morning, but ain't nobody going to be up there late.
No,
people got to go to work tomorrow.
People, it's Labor Day weekend. People got parties to go to. Shoot.
Well, ain't nobody partying on Thursday unless you ain't got to work tomorrow.
No, tomorrow. I mean, shoot.
Oh, tomorrow.
And
head case.
I mean, pick one. Which one? Randy or
no?
Again,
he was talking about David Irving.
That's what I'm saying. But either one. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't trust Randy or Irving. If I have to trust one of them, though, I'm going to pick Randy because I know that he at least gives a damn about trying to give give his all to the team.
Yeah,
I can't say that about David Irving.
When Rico's in the game. The backups do play better when Rico's in the game because he's a big target and can't nobody. That's the reason why they need to keep him on his team because he is a big target.
Mismatch. But when is he a mismatch? When he's playing against third and fourth stringers? When he's playing against first stringers, what is he? I don't think he's that much of a mismatch. Sorry.
He hasn't had the opportunity to play with a lot of the first team.
He doesn't know how to block to play with the first stringers.
He doesn't need to block. They're going to put him in.
If they're going to have him do anything other than red zone, he needs to learn how to block.
Put him in certain packages.
We're not going to do this again.
And let them do his thing.
We're not going back down this road with Rico.
I'm just saying.
We're not going back down this road. We went over the defensive line. Are we comfortable with that? As far as the defensive ends, like the interior line, I think you got 4 guys that are solidified. In Collins, in Woods, in Price, and Crawford's going to be a tackle this year.
And Crawford's going to do much better this year because he's back at the spot where he's supposed to be.
He's going to be a backup under tackle, at least up
he's
until
playing that 3
if
tech.
Irvin ever comes back. He's your backup under tackle.
He's playing that 3 tech, and that's where he needs to
He's going to more than likely start games at defensive end because they like him to set the edge, but more than likely he's going to spend most of his time on the interior. Oh, no, that's a given. No, he's right. Not everybody likes playing football. I get that. But why do I need to invest my money into somebody that doesn't care about football like that when I have somebody else that does?
But whether your heart is in it or not,
and do you have the talent to make up for it?
It's still your job.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, let's be perfectly honest. This isn't really about
if you go to your regular
it's
job,
about whether or not
you're not
you
gonna make
can be counted on to be available. Guys like Irving cannot be counted upon. Now, you'll give them chances because they have such talent, but only to a point. Now, Irving is in his contract year. He's shown he can't be trusted. So after this year, they're going to let him go because they already know he can't be trusted. As far as Randy's concerned, they have years left that he can still be eligible to play on the team. So they're going to give him as many shots as they can, at least up until he's no longer – he doesn't have any more years left.
We'll see what the Cowboys do. It's going to be real interesting because a lot of this a lot of what we're shaping up with this 53-man roster has a lot to do with Randy, and it has a lot to do with Travis Frederick. Whether they put him on IR or
I think Randy, they'll go ahead and put onto the active roster, and if he gets suspended, fine, but he'll just be on the active roster. Or he'll be on the 53. Because they already knew what they were getting themselves into. This is why they got Taco Charm. This is why they got Dorrance Armstrong. So they did not have to be dependent upon a guy like Randy Gregory. So it is what it is. By the way, those are going to be your additional defensive ends in addition to Lawrence. Coney Ely might make the team, but I don't think he should because I don't trust that he's a guy that you can count on. The thing with as Mark says, Trayvon, but Tavon Austin. The thing with Tavon is, I just hope that they use him the right way and not trying to just run him out there. And he needs to do some routes.
They got to have some structure. They got to have some structure with him, and you can't have him every time on the field. You can't have it where it's a play to him. Sometimes you have to do dummy stuff where you put him in the game and you actually hand the ball to somebody else. What you could do is you could have Tavon in the backfield with Ezekiel Elliott, and you don't know what the hell
those plays could work. You could play
them RPOs. Let me tell you something.
At the end of the day,
those run pass options.
Yeah,
Dak is going to be amazing at it because he has the personnel to do it. You got Tavon, you got Zeke, you got Ron Smith. Don't forget about Jameis Olawale. These guys, all these guys, you can do it. You can throw the ball out in the flat. You can bootleg. You can
do that. You
can do some. You can do some runarounds.
You're going to base your offense off of Zeke. You're gonna if you do want to use Tavon, it would be nice if you used him off of Zeke. Like you said,
right? Reverse crossing routes, screens,
reversing routes,
sluggos. I mean, it's so many different things that
There's ways you can do that. I would like to see him go downfield for routes, but again, he's not a priority in the offense.
I don't think Tavon is an outside receiver.
If you do go downfield, your priorities are Beasley, Gallup, and Hearns. That's how I look at it. And if you want to go deep, then maybe you look at a guy like Austin or Deontay Thomas.
Right.
But that's how I put my premium on.
That's what I just
keep overlooking Terrence.
James, that's what I said. He said put Tavon and Ezekiel in the backfield and throw the ball to Rico. that will confuse the hell out of him because again, with this personnel that we have, you don't know who's gonna do what. You don't know who's gonna do.
Let me tell you like this: if you're giving more throws over to Rico than you are somebody like Zeke, then I got a problem.
Yeah.
Zeke needs to get a lot of catches this year. He's your best player. You need to utilize him as such. This is how I look at it.
Look, ain't nobody hyping up Dak. We're just saying that Dak is our starting quarterback. And
Dak
is what it is.
This isn't about Dak. This is about utilizing your best players. Your best player is Zeke. Your second, as far as the players on the offense, I think the best player is Zeke, so you need to utilize him as such. Your second best player, in my opinion, is either Beasley or Gallup. You use them as such. I don't think you need to be worried. Everybody else, you get them in where they fit in.
My whole thing, what is everybody's beef with Dak? Why is there so much like people not liking Dak?
Because I don't understand. He didn't wow him like he did the first year.
Okay, whatever.
But I mean, I really don't care.
At the end of the day, Dak is our starting.
He's going to do like what he
like
did.
It or not.
At the beginning of the season, he was playing just fine. Before not just Zeke left, and when they lost Zeke, they lost Sean Lee, and they lost his left tackle. He was playing just fine. Once they lost all three of those guys, the season went to crap. Now this year, they're supposedly having some depth behind all three of them, to where it should not kill them if one of them has to leave for a game or for maybe not. Oh, it's a long time, but maybe for a game. They have guys that can be able to spell them.
If for some reason Dak doesn't work out this year, he has the
experience last year.
If Dak doesn't work out this year, or he doesn't do anything this year, you already know that the team is going to be.
Out. If he has a good season, he's going to get paid. By the way, if he has a good season, he's going to get paid. So y'all better get used to that. Even if he has himself a season anything close to what he had his first year, he's going to get paid, and y'all better get ready for that.
And this is the thing: if you are a true Cowboy fan, if Dak is the starting quarterback, this is his team. We can no longer live in the past. Romo is gone.
We got to move on.
We got to move on.
This team does not run through Romo, Dez, or Wade anymore. It runs through Dak and Zeke. That's how it is. Dak and Zeke are going to run this team.
And I'm not saying that you can't hate him. Just give us a reason why. Like everybody just says he sucks, he sucks, he sucks. I don't understand.
Dez said it best 17 weeks and lining up in the same spot. Well, you know what, Dez? You played a part in that too. Because you know what, Dez? You couldn't do anything other than line up in those spots.
The problem is...
Sorry. It's on Dez too. You want to make a gripe about the way the play calling was done? I'll take a little bit of a listen to that. But I want you to also look at what Dez did. I want you to also look at whether or not Dez really went into his playbook and really went ahead and honed his routes to where he could do something other than just doing goals or doing slants. Because that's all he could do.
Or don't forget back shoulder fade.
Or back shoulder fade. But I'm sorry, there's more to the route tree than that. And Dez has the ability to do more than that, but he doesn't have the want to do it. Or at least he didn't have the want to until his spot on the team was on the line. So I'm tired of folks going ahead and saying, going along with that idea. They didn't do everything they could to diversify the offense. They were put in a spot where they couldn't diversify the offense because they had players that didn't allow them to do something.
Now, this is the only thing I'm going to say about Tony Romo, and I'm not going to go in anything. I'm not going to talk about Tony Romo no more. I'm going to say this one thing. When Tony Romo was the quarterback of this team, you got to give Tony his due diligence because when he was the quarterback of this team, a lot of these seasons we could have easily gone 4-12 with the trash ass play calling, with them not putting the people because they didn't really give him an offensive line till later on, till Gerard and them got here. So
this dude Drunken Dragons get on my nerves because he just totally doesn't get it.
It's okay, but everybody's not going to agree with you. It is what it is.
It's not about agreeing with me. It's about saying something that makes sense.
Let me finish my statement. But the thing with Romo is Romo did his time. Romo, I gotta respect Romo for what he's done. He put it out there. He put his back out there for this team. Literally, he broke his back.
They didn't give him a good line up until possibly 2014. When they got Zach Martin on that line became finally had the ability to
Jerry
protect
Jones
him.
said himself that
They finally used the running game so they didn't have to keep.
Jerry Jones said himself that when Romo was here, I could have done more around him to give him.
As Charles
the
said,
tools
he
that
kept us
needed.
from going 4-12.
That's what I said. And I'm just saying,
this stuff don't happen overnight, people.
Look, I love all of y'all to death. I swear to God, I love y'all. But I just want y'all to understand. Y'all know how I roll, right? I try to.
Romo also kept you from being 12-4. Did you not watch the 2014 season, sir? Say something that makes sense, people. Come on.
But listen, y'all. Listen. Let me talk to my subscribers, all right?
My God.
These are my people. Let me talk to my
people. I understand, but still.
Look, I love y'all to death. And when I speak as real as I can. I'm not speaking from out in the blue. I'm speaking real shit right now. Right now, what we got going on right now, if you with me right now as a Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm telling you right now, we got Dak and Zeke. I don't want to hear nothing that Dak ain't shit without Zeke. Zeke is the centerpiece of this team. Just like
he's the best player,
because he's the best player.
You run the team through your best player.
You do.
That's what it is.
And you're gonna run the ball down their goddamn throats. And this is how we're
this formula works. It worked in 2014. It worked in 2016.
This is what we're gonna do.
You have to go ahead and stick to what you're good at.
And Zeke.
By the way, Drunken, I get what you're saying.
Zeke is not suspended. He's gonna play this whole year. Please, Dallas Cowboy fans, we gotta stick together. We already have enough hate outside of us. We gotta stop this bad mouthing and trashing each other.
We let the team play and see how good they really are before we start trashing them.
We have to stick together. And those of you that follow me faithfully, I appreciate y'all. But let me explain something to you. I'm gonna give it to you real. Preseason, you got to take this shit with a grain of salt. You got to look at what they're doing right now and be like, okay, it is what it is. Now, if they start doing this crap in the regular season, then we can start worrying. But I think that we're going to be good come the regular season. We just have to figure out the safety spot and figure out what's going on with Travis Frederick. Once we figure this out throughout this next week, things are going to get better. I guarantee you.
We'll have more answers come Monday. They'll probably have made a move for the offensive line and for the safety depth. As far as the receivers and the tight ends, let's be perfectly honest, it's not going to be as good as what we had in the past. The receivers will not be at a high level as good as what we've had, but they will be, as far as the depth of the talent, be requisite enough for us to be able to make plays.
I was a Romo fan when Romo
tight end. I think you're gonna have some struggles. I'm just gonna be honest about it.
But you can look at it like this: with your tight ends, every one of our running backs can block. They can pass block. I'm not really worried about the blocking with the tight ends right now. I think that all they have to do is just do their job. If the tight ends can come in here and just do the bare minimum, do their job, I think that we can get over because we have enough talent in other places on the offense to carry over on that. Because think about it. Outside of Witten, when we had Witten, the Cowboys didn't really do much with tight ends anyway. So
they did themselves a disservice by not truly developing an heir apparent.
And I'm gonna need,
that's the bottom line about it.
And I
think that's what's going to hurt them more so than whatever happens with the receivers. Because I think at the end of the day, if you really look at the receiving core, it's as good, if not better, than what they had last year. Because if you really are if you're truthful about it, Dez was not that good last year. He does not have the same breakaway speed. All he could do is do jump balls and back shoulder fades, if that. He does not have the same ability as he had in years before. So bringing in a guy like Allen Hurns, you're pretty much getting as good, if not better, than what you had last year out of Dez.
And I think
you have yourself a player in Gallup that has the potential to be one of the better receivers that you've had, at least in the last couple years.
I think that right now, with Dak Prescott being this, and this is going into his third year, he knows the playbook much better, and you can see the confidence in him. He's getting better. He's been practicing that deep ball. If you watch these training camp practices, you see that he's been throwing the ball deep. You're going to see a lot of deep balls to him and
I won't say a lot of deep balls. They will take advantage of the deep ball when it's necessary.
But that's
just the way the offense is. They don't try and just air it out all the time. They air it out when they need to.
Dak's strength is that RPO, that run pass option. I'm telling you,
and the way they run the ball and the way that they block, they will be able.
And don't forget, Dak can run himself.
And he has a great ability to be able to play tricks at the line with the defense to where he can pull that ball back in and hit some and find somebody.
I don't know who gave Tony the nickname Tony Oh No, but I never said no whack stuff like that. Like,
no, let's be honest about Tony. Tony did do some oh no plays. Well, let's be honest about it.
Every quarterback does oh no stuff. Did we not forget that Tom Brady once threw 5 interceptions in a game? I don't give a damn how great of a quarterback you are. You're gonna have a bad game because you're human.
You're agree with human. However, I will say that Tony helped us as much as he hurt us. Because that, like
Tony
say
Romo
for instance,
was
the Denver game,
Tony Romo was
the Denver
a
game where he put up 48 points was great. He made a bad play at the end of the game. He was compromised though, but at the end of the day, it wasn't all him because one, why are you giving up 51 points? And two, why is an offensive lineman falling on to Tony Romo, forcing him into an interception?
Well,
so
let's
just be perfectly honest. Those teams weren't that good. When the teams got good, 2014, 2016. I
wasn't comparing Brady. I just said if everybody thinks that Brady is such a GOAT, Brady had off games too. We know that Aaron Rodgers had an off game. You remember when we played Green Bay last year when we literally demolished them? Brady was playing. Aaron Rodgers
got
everybody has bad games. That's the comparison I'm making. I'm not trying to compare nobody to Brady. Brady is the GOAT. We know that. Whatever. Blah blah. New England. It is what it is. But
here's the thing: and this is the thing that we're going to need to see out of this defensive line this year.
Tony Romo,
when you can hit the quarterback, when you can put sustained pressure on the quarterback, every quarterback gets ordinary. Whether it's Romo, whether it's Brady, whether it's A-Rod, where any quarterback, if you hit them, becomes ordinary. So if this defensive line shows an ability to rush the passer on a sustained level and not just rush them, get them on the ground, hit them, then you will probably see some great success out of them, even against some of the better quarterbacks in the league.
I'm gonna say one last thing about Tony. I'm gonna move forward because I'm done with it. I'm just gonna say that yes, Tony Romo had his time. Tony Romo was a gambler. Tony Romo, the way he played was like Russian roulette. He threw the ball deep a lot, and he made just as many good plays he made
some bad
ones. Again, because you can't make a goddamn omelet without cracking a few eggs.
Now, having said that, with Dak, Dak is going to be more efficient. Dak is just simply he's going to take what the defense gets him, and that's going to piss off some of you guys because you want him to go deep. But most often than not, he sees a 5-yard out, a 10-yard out, a 12-yard out. He's going to take that.
At the end of the day, football is a team sport, and games are won in the trenches, offensive, defensive lines. So if you have strong defense and strong offensive lines, you have a better chance of winning these games. Now, our defense is better this year, which which would definitely help Dak. The Ravens looking good though. Wow, Vince Mailey. You guys remember Vince Mailey, our wide receiver that was with the team last year? He just scored a touchdown for the Ravens.
Okay, man.
That's funny. And he's wearing number 88.
Well, Baltimore has a good team this year. They should have some ability.
Wow.
Now I have to see whether
it's funny how
quality football.
My biggest qualm with the Dallas Cowboys,
the season in the Super Bowl
we don't know how to use certain players. I don't know what it is with this coaching staff. Like I don't know if it's Garrett. I don't know if it's Garrett's philosophy. I don't know if it's Scott Linehan. But the thing is, it's not just the play calls. It's just the way that
they're not innovative. Let's call it like it is. They're not innovative.
Well, again, we have a conservative coach. Our coach is a Princeton graduate, and he's very conservative. And
that's why when Chaz Green is getting beat to shreds at left tackle, they don't figure out how to just go ahead and slide a running back over to chip somebody. No, you just keep letting them sit out there and get run over and over and nearly get that killed out there. No, that's what this coach is. He's very conservative, and because of that, you get what you see on a regular basis.
And this is the reason why a lot of fans are calling for Jason Garrett's head. They want him cut, and I understand that. And I know it's frustrating, y'all. I know it is. Because when you sit here and look at the talent that we've had on this team over the year, we squandered a lot of great players. We squandered DeMarcus Ware. We squandered Tony Romo, we squandered. I'm gonna say Dez Bryant too. They squandered Jason Witten. We've had a lot of players on this team that were good enough to get us to that game, or at least the NFC Championship game.
We'll see where they take it now.
We have to. We are not going to be as good as a team unless we get better play calling in there. And or if Dak gets to the point where he's like, forget it, I'm about to put a team on my back.
At the end of the day, this team isn't good enough to just simply roll them out and just beat somebody. They're going to need to.
The problem is Jerry Jones is in love. He's in love with Redhead. So it is what it is.
Well, we'll see, because if they don't,
if
they go 8-8 or 9-7 again this year, he's probably going to be looking for a job. It's as simple as that. They need to have a good record. Hell, I don't even know if 10 wins is enough. They need to have a very good season in order to show that they are a team that should continue going on with Jason Garrett. This is what it is.
Jason Garrett is that guy he's just simple. He's the same all the time. He wears the same T-shirts and sweaters for his interviews, his post-game press conferences.
Lonnie Holmes, you're right. I mean, I'll be the first one to say Dak has to be able to throw out of the pocket better. However, he plays very good going outside the pocket on the run. They need to find ways to take advantage of that. They need to do rollouts. They need to do bootlegs. They need to find ways to get him on the move, because that's where he's at his best. He is a mobile quarterback, and he should utilize that. So, but yeah, he does need to get better in the pocket. No doubt about it, especially when he's throwing the deep ball.
Like I said, I'm just going to go back to what I was saying, with the simple fact that with Dak, this is his third year. He's more comfortable with the team. He knows the playbook much better, and he's taking the reins, because this is the first year you can actually say this is completely Dak Prescott's team. He is the quarterback. He is the leader. And
they say it's going to be a Dak-friendly offense. Let's see whether or not they do that.
Quest for 6.
Allow him to take control of the offense.
We got to stay focused, man. I know we got a young team, but this coaching staff has to do a better job of getting these guys prepared for games. Sometimes I think that they need to dig in these players' shit a little more. You see what Chris Richard was doing on the sideline the last game, and you look at the players' face, they was like, we ain't used to getting yelled at like this. Yell at them. Marinelli and Chris Richard are the only two coaches on this team that be in these players' faces like that. And I know that Jason Garrett he's a talker, he's a motivator. He lets his coaches and his coordinators do all the work. He basically is just there to speak his philosophy and basically tell the players what he expects.
Yeah,
that's what he does. Now, one thing I do like about Jason Garrett is the fact that he has great philosophies, and he's great at getting these players to adhere to what he's going to, what he wants, what he expects out of them. But the problem is this vanilla play calling, and just we don't have any type of innovation.
He comes from the school of the 90s Cowboys, running it down your throat with Evan. And that type of stuff worked back then, but you're going to have to be a little bit more innovative in a league that now has bigger, faster, stronger guys than what you faced even back then. So he's going to have to get a lot more innovative in how he puts together a game plan. This is the bottom line about it. If they do not do that, then they are going to have themselves a new coach. Because, again, that strategy works when you have studs all over the field. 2014 and 16, they had that. They don't have that this year. So they're going to have to get innovative.
And I just got
now defense. They got.
Oh my God! He just took the ball from him. And the Ravens looking good.
Baltimore has looking. They have a pretty good defense.
Wow.
That's going to be the first. That's going to be the biggest thing.
Wait, we don't play Baltimore this year.
No, we play Jacksonville and the Texans. Those defenses.
He took that ball out of the receiver's hand and ran it back for a touchdown.
All right, let's go ahead and finish up the defense. I think we went over the defensive line. We went over the linebackers. As far as the secondary is concerned, I think it's pretty straightforward. You know who your first four corners are going to be. Byron Jones and Chidobe Awuzie have had great camps.
They're going to be your starters.
You're going to
have Anthony Brown as the third
guy.
Louis
shaky, and Jordan Lewis has been shaky as well, but those are going to be your immediate backups. As far as any additional corners, I was going to have Ward on there, but now that they've traded him, I guess they might put Duke Thomas on the 53, but I don't know if I really want him on there.
If he makes the team now, he may actually get cut later when they have to make roster adjustments.
I think he would just fill out the 53 at this point.
Pretty much.
But honestly, here's my thing. I really would want to go through who our locks
but then
are.
They got.
See, here's my thing. I would want to go through the locks are, and then from there,
I kind of wanted Ward on the team, but they just traded him. So
Ward was going to be on my 53. Ward I liked enough to where I wanted him to be the 5th corner. I don't think he was going to be on the 46, but he could definitely be. He provided you some depth. He has the size. He has the ability to be a good piece down the line. So it's sad that they went ahead and let that go, but hopefully they got something for it. I don't know.
They have to have a plan right now going forward with these.
Cheeto is the best cornerback in my – yeah, he is. Lonnie, you're right. He is the most consistent. He is the cleanest. He plays the cleanest game. He's the most consistent. He has problems.
And he can tackle.
Best. He can tackle the best. He does everything you want out of a corner is what Cheeto does. Now, Byron has the athletic ability to do a lot of great things. Yeah. He has the speed to cover. He's done a really, really good job. I mean, he fits the mold of what Chris Richard wants. Chris Richard wants big, physical, fast corners, and he's got that out of those two. So I don't think they could ask some more out of those two. That's the reason why they went with Anthony Brown over Jordan Lewis, because of his size, but he just hasn't been a consistent player. I mean, honestly, I like Jordan Lewis better out of the slot, but the better player, honestly, has been Anthony Brown because Jordan Lewis has been so shaky.
Yeah, well, see.
And that's not saying much.
Either way, we're going to see who starts that position. But even with that cornerback position, they rotate so much.
He's right. Lewis did look the part last year.
He did.
But he says I'm confused on what's going on. Lonnie, I think it really has a lot to do with the fact that they did not allow him to have an honest shot at being at least the 3rd corner, let alone to be a starter. I think that hurt his confidence. I think he went into the season thinking he had a great shot to be a starting corner. That didn't happen. He couldn't even be the starting nickel. And I think that shot his confidence to start. I think he played better in the Cardinal game. I would like to say that bodes well for him getting better as the season goes on. I think eventually as the season goes on, he needs to be the nickel because I think he has the best ability out of the two. I think Anthony Brown is a 50-50 player. He's going to do a good play 1 minute. He's going to do a terrible play the next.
I don't know what happened. Like in training camp practices, he was looking so good. So good. And then you see the first preseason game, he's like,
he's a 50-50 player.
And you're like, what the hell just happened? Like,
he's a 50-50. Anthony Brown is a bench player. That's what he is. I don't know about a watered-down Chaz Green. I think he's got a little bit better ability than that.
You look at safety, I feel like
he's a 50-50 player.
I feel like we have a lot of complementary safeties. Like, we don't really have a safety on this squad that's like, you look at them and you be like, that guy right there is a solidified starter. I love Jeff Heath.
Right now, Jeff Heath can start as your.
Heath comes into the game. You got to give him limited defensive snaps.
Well, no. What you need is him to play in the box. He's a better in the box player. He's a better strong safety than he is a free. He has free ability with his speed, and he has pretty good awareness back there. But the problem is his best attribute is being up in the box around the ball, creating havoc. And that's what they initially had when they had Xavier Woods, is him being able to cover the back end, whereas he could be up there with the linebackers wreaking havoc.
Are you saying the LVE was a mistake? I'm not going to say that yet, only because we haven't really seen
the guy's been hurt. You don't know what he can do yet. When he played in the San Francisco game, he actually played pretty well. He would have had an opportunity for a pick if not for the penalty on guess who.
He had a pick in practice.
Yeah, LVE has the ability. It's just a matter of can we get him onto the field. That's the only thing there. And again, they have enough depth at linebacker to where it works itself out. That eventually he'll be able to come back in and not be rushed.
Look. The reason why I'm not worried about LVE right now is because Justin Marshall-Lillard and Joe Thomas is in there playing their asses off right now. So
Monty says we're not missing them. We're not, because we have so much depth at linebacker.
Because we got depth.
Once the season starts, he will be playing. He won't be playing a lot of snaps. But honestly, Lonnie, you don't want him playing a lot of snaps. You want him to come in slowly because he's a rookie. That's why you brought in a guy like Joe Thomas. That's why you're thankful you still have a credible Damian Wilson to play some strong, and why you're even more thankful that Jalen Smith is playing like a starting middle linebacker.
And I know that everybody wanted Calvin Ridley. I wanted
Calvin Ridley doesn't help you. Calvin Ridley is no better than what you're getting out of Michael Gallup. Yeah. People need to understand that Michael Gallup is just as good as what you were going to get out of Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is not even as big a player as Michael Gallup.
I wanted Derwin James.
I mean, you're going to make a gripe about something. Getting Derwin James would have been the move early. If you want to make a gripe about something, make a gripe about that. But I can understand why they did that because they felt like they had something.
Those of you that saw me in Texas at the draft, y'all know how my reaction was when we signed LVE. But after realizing and actually looking through it, and
Lonnie, I'm sorry. I mean, all of these guys are pretty much a toss-up. Moore, Ridley, all of them. They're all a toss-up. Gallup is just as good as the rest of those guys. Y'all need to understand you got yourself a good receiver. Got yourself the receiver that you want. None of those guys are going to – I'll be honest with you, DJ Moore isn't going to be playing like Julio Jones right out the bat. Calvin Ridley isn't going to be playing like Antonio Brown right out of the bat. None of these guys are going to be superstars right off the bat. They're all rookies, but they're all good, and you got yourself a good one in Gallup.
For years to come. You're looking at it for down the road. That's what you're looking at.
Now, if you want to say we missed out on Watt, I'll talk with you about that. I don't know if he was a scheme fit because he's a 3-4 linebacker, and not a 4-3 defensive end.
That was the issue that everybody kept talking about the year.
But I can understand where you would have wanted a guy like Watt.
TJ Watt was not a scheme fit. He was a 3-4 guy. We wouldn't have been able to use him like the Steelers did.
Yeah, I mean it's going to work itself out as far as what
what's funny is we had
give it time. They're all rookies. None of them are going to be great right out the bat.
The funny thing is we had Ryan Shazier, and then all of a sudden the Pittsburgh was
Ryan Shazier is a great player. Ryan Shazier is no longer playing. Zach Martin is going to be your starting right guard week 1, and will be your starting right guard for years to come. So,
but you're talking about
no offense,
Falani. You
made good on that move.
You're talking about he could have adjusted, but the problem is, can the Cowboys adjust TJ Watt?
And again, you're taking a good look. You're
talking about our coaching staff. I just said that we can't.
It's the same reason they didn't get the guy that went to the Minnesota Vikings.
We're not good at developing,
and they got Travis Frederick to begin with.
These guys go to other teams and they become great players. And I'm sitting here watching it like, really?
The rookie wide receiver on the Broncos.
Tapper get injured again? Well, he's
who are you talking about? Better than them right now. I mean, let's be again. All of these receivers are good. That's why there was so much depth in the draft to where they could draft a receiver like that in the 3rd round. None of them are playing to a level to where you absolutely had to have one over the other.
See, and what you say about Taco, everybody.
Taco's playing better. Taco's going to actually look good this
year.
Speaking
of tacos, we're going to talk good when I'm done with it. But anyway, Taco. The problem with Taco is everybody wanted. When you look at your first round player, you want your first round player to just go out there and just be dominant. That's not always the case. Taco was technically a 2nd round player because we got him at 20. What is this? 27. We got him late.
Taco was basically the very end of the first.
He was technically a second.
He was the last defensive end you were going to get.
I knew that he was a raw player, and I knew it was going to take him time to get. But if Randy Gregory plays, it's going to make Taco better because then Taco could play that. They're going to put him at that 3 technique spot, and he could just come in there, or if they could just put him as a backup in. And he'll be able to get that rush because our inside is better.
I want to see what Taco does this year. Taco has shown over the offseason, through the preseason, he has the ability. He has moves now. He's got himself to where he's got a good amount of speed and everything to where he can go ahead and make a sustained run. He's got good power. He's probably going to be more so a left defensive end. He's more so going to be a guy that spells Lawrence, but because they want Randy to be the right end because of his speed. But I mean, they've got quality in Taco and in Dorrance Armstrong to where they're going to be fine on the defense on the defensive line and getting pressure, because they also have Malik Collins. They also have a dude in Antoine Woods that just moves the pocket.
Right.
No matter who you put in front of him, he moves it. And even when they put in Tyrone Crawford, he gives you quality. They got a great defensive line.
Now
they have one of the better defensive lines they've ever had. You are not going to be complaining too much about the defensive line this year.
Yeah, Gallup did smoke Patrick Peterson. We talked about that earlier.
He smoked him. Bad throw.
He didn't catch the ball.
Bad throw.
That was actually on Gallup. He jumped too early.
It's on both of them. Bad throw. It was a bad throw. It was not a good throw.
When I looked at where that ball was, he could have caught that ball.
It could have gone. It could have had more air.
If he would have jumped half a second later.
My opinion, it could have had more air, but I'm not going to absolve Gallup. He did not need to jump up like that. There was no need for it. Matter of fact, if he stayed on his feet, regardless of the throw, he was going to probably get a pass interference because Peterson was trying to go ahead and run him over.
No, we know the front seven not going to be a problem. We know that.
Front seven is set.
We just got to
honestly,
figure out what we're going to do.
You will get good play out of your starters at safety. You will get good play out of Heath. Heath is not going to make dumb mistakes in the back there. And Frazier, when he's up toward the line, when he's playing strong, is a quality
Let me
safety.
Tell you something. Heath is one of the luckiest safeties I've ever seen. I've never seen a guy get so many picks off a tip ball. He just always seemed to be at the right place at the right time. But
well, when you got pressure, you know what happens? You get a lot of tips. You get a lot of bad throws.
It's going to be a lot of
probably
tips.
have Heath get some more of those type of
We're going to get a lot. We're going to get a lot of.
They have what they need. One of the best front seven. I'm not going to say one of the best in the league. I'm going to say one of the best front sevens they've had in a while.
I say we'll be top
with
10.
that, and with very quality corners, like top quality corners. They are going to be able to get turnovers. They're going to be able to get sacks. They're going to be able to make plays on this defense like they've never done in years past. With that, they're going to be able to make they're going to be very good to watch on the defensive side, regardless of who they have at safety, as long as they don't go past having Heath and Frazier at safety. If they have to put anybody else in there other than them or Woods, then we have a problem.
The best thing for these DBs right now is literally Chris Richard. He came in here and he hit the ground running. He's out there with
Lonnie. I get it. Earl Thomas is needed. He isn't needed right now. If you do lose one of the two safeties that are starting now, then I could consider your argument. But right now, you have enough in front of them with their front seven and with your corners that you don't absolutely need to go after Earl Thomas.
Now, I'm going to disagree with that because I want Earl Thomas, and I think that he needs to be on this team because you look at what he brings to the table, not just
he makes you a great defense.
Not only with his playing ability, but because he knows Chris Richard. He's played in Chris Richard's system.
Yes.
He can be an advocate to these younger guys, get Xavier Woods and these guys up to speed on what Chris Richard expects out of this secondary. So I look at it as a double-edged sword. You can use him in multiple ways, and we need to have that. That is imperative.
I won't dispute that. I still feel like they have a good enough defense with Heath and Frazier back there for right now that they can at least sustain for the 1 or 2 weeks that they won't have a guy like Xavier Woods. They have a good enough defense right now. They would be great if they got an Earl Thomas, but the price is too steep for them to get him. So until then, what they have, still one of the best defenses they can possibly have right now.
Yeah, and I mean,
now what I would worry though is if you lose one of your starters at corner, more so than if you lose one of the current starters at safety.
Yeah, James, because that's what the Giants are doing. They're trying to make Saquon Barkley, and they're trying to say that he's better than Zeke. I don't know how the hell you say that somebody's better. No,
don't get me wrong. He's a really good running back. I'm not going to dispute that. However, I still don't believe that their offensive line is as good as the Cowboys. Even without Travis Frederick, I do not trust anything that they have on that right side of that line. And I still got to see Nate Solder do it for a full season before I believe that he's supposed to be their left tackle of the future.
Well, Nate Solder was doing it.
They have a great set of they got a great set of receivers. They got a really good running back. They have a okay line at best until I see different. And by the way, their quarterback, you got issues with Dak. Eli ain't much better.
Yo, but the Redskins is doing when they got Tim Settle is going to be a very good guy for their defensive line. And I'm looking at the Redskins defensive line. They're going to.
Oh, Redskins defense is good. The Redskins defense, guys, y'all going to see this. Their defense is good. It's just a matter of them keeping guys healthy. They lost guys by the droves last year, and the offensive line is pretty good if they stay healthy.
The Redskins have
bad luck. They are good in the trenches. If they stay healthy.
Mind you, guys, I live 15 minutes from Redskins Stadium. So sometimes when I'm out driving Lyft and I just be seeing stuff and I just be shaking my head like
What record do y'all see us having this year before the first game starts?
10-6, 11-5.
I'm around that number 2. I really want to know. I really look forward to seeing what happens over the weekend and what they get as far as depth on the offensive line and the safeties. But I'm around 10-6, 11-5 myself. I can see I lean more towards the 11-5. Depending upon how well these receivers play, if they get really good play, I could see them even getting up to 12. It just depends on the matchups. Keep in mind, what we see now is not exactly the tough matchups that we see later. Everybody that they say looks like a great team now. Injuries happen.
10-6
suspensions happen. 10-6 things can change down the line.
10-6 should solidify a playoff spot, but that also depends on how good the Eagles are going to be this year. If the Eagles
they're starting without their quarterback and without their best receiver to start the season. At least the first 2 games.
I have to give Eagles their respect though. If Carson Wentz comes back as the player he was before, they're going to be a nasty-ass team.
What they've learned, though, now is they can't trust that Nick Foles is going to play the same as he did last year. We want to beat them
on a daily basis.
I agree with that statement. They will get better as the season progresses. It really depends on how – I think it all depends on how the receivers progress over the year.
The Eagles talk a lot of crap, but I know they're nervous of us too. I agree with that. And I know that we're probably nervous of each other.
They got to get guys on the field. They can't talk anything because they got to get guys on the field. Again, their quarterback and their best receiver are not on the field. Nick Foles looked like trash. And I'm sorry, that's what Nick Foles is. He's trash. He had a very nice 3-game stretch in the playoffs.
Let's put it to you like
Let's see if he does it again.
Let's put it to you like this. When Doug Peterson became the coach of the Eagles, that was when they started becoming dominant because he knew exactly what to do with that team. Now, when they won that Super Bowl, get away from my chords. Because if you pull anything out, go back over there.
Over there.
The thing about it is this. With Doug Peterson, sit down, Coco. Sit. Good girl. So with Doug Peterson on this as their coach, you look at what they did in that Super Bowl. Every running back scored, first of all. Their tight end scored. Everybody did their job. And the biggest thing to take out of that is the fact that they had depth. That's what the Cowboys need. We need our backups.
I think Mike White's in the game now.
Yeah, he is to do their job. We need these backups to do their job.
97.5. All they're talking about is pushing
Carson Wentz out there and get him destroyed.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to, James. They're not going to do that. They can talk on. I'll tell you that. The coach wants to put Carson Wentz out there because he wants his best player out there, and he knows that Nick Foles is Nick Foles. Nick Foles is not that good. However, they're not going to put their best. They're not going to put their franchise quarterback out there until he's absolutely healthy. I don't expect to see Carson Wentz at least until week 2, week 3 at best.
But the problem is we don't play the Eagles till at least November. So by the time November comes, they would have had already figured out what they're going to do at quarterback. And by then, they done already gonna figure out how they're gonna play us too. So it's gonna be an interesting season. It definitely is. But I think that if we keep doing what we doing and worry about ourselves first, we'll be fine. I just need this coaching staff to do their due diligence. And I know that Vosh Lombardi.
We'll see.
I know that Vosh Lombardi.
Let's give them a game. Let's give them a couple games, see just how
players doing
diverse
their job,
they are with the play call.
But let's be honest, the coaches have to do their job too. Bottom line. And who's that?
46.
When it comes,
think that's Ron.
No, that was Trey Williams. I think.
They're driving.
Are they driving?
They're driving.
Are we driving? I mean, what quarter is it? I didn't.
It's still third.
I know that like people watching the game right now, our game, I should say, is probably looking at it like, let's let it be over.
These are backups. Honestly, I just want to see whether or not White looks good at this point.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, Golden Heart?
7-3 Texans. There was a pick six to start off the game by Cooper Rush. And honestly, Cooper Rush did not look too good. I'll be honest with you guys. If they could find themselves a replacement for Cooper Rush, I would take it.
Lance Lenore with the catch?
Lance
Lenore said, look, y'all hit my knee, but I'm playing.
Lance Lenore's got to play because he's got to get himself a spot.
He playing for his life right now, yo. Like
that was Cowboys with somebody else.
That was a nice catch on the crossing run.
I don't like the Is that third or fourth down? They're going for it. See,
and of course they're going to say all we have is Zeke. And I want them to say that. I want these Eagle fans to say that all we have is Zeke. Because when they play us, they realize that, like, we got more substance in that. They're going to be shocked by the rest of these players that we have.
Why are we – I don't like the play call.
It's preseason. The play calls are going to be crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I understand it's –
Gallup, and we had a conversation about Gallup. I know you just got in, Pat, but Gallup is going to be somebody special.
He's the best receiver on the team.
I'm not looking at him to be a monster this year. I'll give it to next year or even the year after that. But as long as I see him with splash plays, as long as I see him do what I think that he can do, we'll be good.
He's going to have splash plays. You saw what he did in the first game of the preseason. You saw how he beat Patrick Peterson
like when everybody's talking about.
Not only that, he can go and make contested catches. He will go and get anything that Dak throws. He doesn't get down on himself. He always is trying his best to get every ball that's in his vicinity. So he's going to be a very good player in that respect. He's always in there listening, talking with Dak. He's done everything he can to learn as much as he can and get himself up to speed with Dak. Dak loves him. Dak throws him everything he can at this point. So Dak is going to do everything he can to get the ball to that kid because that kid probably has the best ability out of anybody in that receiving core for this particular team.
See, outside of quarterback, and I've said this before, wide receiver is the second hardest position to adjust from the collegiate level to the pros. Once you get to this point in the pros, it's going to be growing pains. You're going to get through, and you're going to get to the point where it's like, all right, I got this. It's all about confidence. You look at when we had Morris Claiborne, his confidence was shard when he kept getting injured. Perfect example of a player that's on the team right now, the player that you guys want to see get cut, Chaz Green. His confidence
he's done.
His confidence
he's absolutely done.
His confidence has been diminished. Because
if they would have simply given him any assistance in that Atlanta game, that would have given him some level of a chance to be an asset to the team either last year or even this year. He has no confidence whatsoever in how to play the position whatsoever.
And that will ultimately be his demise. I think that Chaz Green needs to go to another team. I don't know if he's going to
make it onto it. I mean, he might get onto a team because he has shown some ability at playing a tackle, but he's going to have to basically start all over. He's going to have to go to a team that's going to be willing to literally just teach him all over again how to play the position.
But back to what I was saying about not Hearns, Gallup. When Gallup, when Gallup first caught his first pass with the team, I was watching him out there, and I was like, this boy is jumping. He's jumping to the side. He's going to get that. He's high pointing that ball, and that's what you should do. Now, as far as Terrence Williams, you guys always get on Terrence about being a body catcher. When it comes to Terrence,
he's making better catches this offseason or this preseason.
Terrence is whoever Terrence is. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn how Terrence Williams catch the ball. If Terrence Williams catch the ball with his feet, long as he catch the ball, I don't care.
I still need him to be a better contested catcher, because you can't have him having balls bounce off of his hands or off of his body like he did last year, having those become picks. That was way too often.
The coaching staff definitely
can't do that. This offense is not going to be putting up 30, 40 points a game. It needs to run on schedule. It can't afford a lot of penalties. It can't afford a lot of turnovers. It has to run on schedule. So he can't be doing that sort of stuff.
Right, David Tyree caught it with his helmet. And
whatever it takes, make the damn catch.
That was the reason why the Giants won the Super Bowl that year. But
whatever it takes, make the damn catch. I mean, there's no excuses anymore, especially for him. This is it. After this season, Terrence Williams' contract is not going to be guaranteed with him any longer. So he needs to go ahead and do whatever he can to make whatever catches is available to him. Simple and put.
I'm going to actually before Saturday or right before they actually do the roster cut down, I'm gonna do a video, y'all. I'm recording. I'm gonna write down all the players that I think that actually gonna make the team. Just like how we're talking now, I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna do it in the actual formal form, so you guys can see exactly where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done it a couple times myself. I still believe that I think you can get Rico on. I think you can get all 4 tight ends.
Said Terrence makes my eyes hurt. Hey, just catch.
I'll be honest, he's not. He's. If I'm Dak, I don't trust that guy the way I do Beasley and the way that I do even Gallup right now, because he's been burned enough by him these last couple of years.
I want to see more of Hearns. I haven't really seen much of Hearns. I know that Hearns has the ability to catch the ball because I've seen
good. I've
watched him in Jacksonville, and I've seen what he can do.
Don't expect too much.
Blake Bortles is not better than Dak Prescott.
I know, and I've seen. Should not expect only so. Allen Hurts is a good receiver. That's all you're going to get from him. You have the potential of getting a great receiver out of Gallup. That's what you're going to probably see. You're going to see mostly good receivers with some splashes of greatness out of a guy like Gallup. That's what you're going to probably see.
I beat you to the punch. But no, Hearns really, like, I think that them working in the offseason before everything got cracking, I think that helped him gain his camaraderie with Dak, because that's the main thing. You want your starting quarterback to be comfortable with the guys that he's throwing the ball to. Because
he hasn't had an ability to really get much of a rapport with Hearns yet, at least not in the game.
No, in the offseason, and definitely in the offseason, but not in the game. So.
I could have sworn he had an ability to do some work with Hearns in the offseason.
They did. They went to Florida together. The whole receiver.
I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Even Noah Brown was
on where that is, but I think right now, as I see it, he has the best rapport with a guy like Beasley.
They're not gonna. I think that Beasley is gonna be much better.
With a guy like Gallup.
I don't think they're gonna double team or bracket him like they did when Dez was here, because they took that away. But now, because we have a different stable of wide receivers, they don't know who's gonna do what. So I don't think that they're gonna bracket Beasley like they did before. That's why I say I think this is gonna be a year. He's gonna have a year similar to what he did in 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, number 29. That's the dude the other guy that we got from Seattle. What's his name? Gerard. That
Jaron Johnson. Jaron Johnson is a guy based upon his relationship with Chris Rashad. He used to play with him in Seattle.
I'm trying to come to Carolina, but the problem.
But I don't know if Jaron Johnson's gonna really have a shot at making this team.
I think that
Go over there, Sam.
I think that Mark has something to do with his family. I think that week
over there,
and I think some of the other guys didn't want to go. So I don't know what's going on with Carolina, but I'll let you know, Pat. Closer to the time. I know it's like in a week or two, but I'll let you know. We already know that he will give that number 29 up if in fact Earl comes to this team. But we'll see what happens.
Let's be honest. There's a lot of guys that got numbers on right now that ain't good and damn well they ain't gonna be wearing that damn number.
So if Marcus not coming, I probably
ask Dorrance Armstrong whether or not he's gonna be wearing 74 or not.
Because they were trying to take the RV down there. And if Mark is not renting the RV, we're probably not going to do it. But I did want to drive my own car down there, but I didn't want to go by myself because I didn't. It's not the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we are going to take some trips this year, though. I just don't know exactly what we're going to do yet. And we're probably definitely going to do we're probably going to do that Redskin game here because, like I said, I live around the corner from it, so. When Dallas comes here, I know that we're going to do a big tailgate for that. Coco, get away from my tripod. Go over there. Sit down.
You got no bone?
She don't need no more bone. She didn't have enough. He says, so Earl's coming down. I don't know. We hope. We'll see.
Let me go ahead and get the phone back. Should be charged up.
All right, Tim, I got you on that. Yeah, Rico, and that's why I said Rico needs to make this team because his ability, just him being on the field, frees up a lot from different people. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, he got beat up on that one.
Pat, you out this bitch? All right. Well, I'll try to see what I can do, bro.
Terrible route.
Okay, Tim, I got you, bro. I'll let you know. And the score is still 7-3, Texans.
There's a whole lot of nothing going on. I'm like, why are you throwing it short?
Them check downs, man. Them check downs be killing me, bro.
Yeah,
like when you look at
down the field.
When you look at are they in the fourth quarter yet?
They're not even in the fourth yet.
They're not even in the fourth quarter yet. The game feel like it's been on forever.
It's like fourth quarter or something like that.
Oh,
well, then it's like third quarter.
You ever notice when you watching the Cowboy game, right? When the game get real juicy, it seems like the game go by so fast. But then when you watch preseason, you're like, can we just get out of here? It's like
got a minute and a half left in the third, so it's got to start.
We still got a whole nother quarter, but I may end the live stream before the game is over because I mean we already know we're not here.
We already covered a great deal.
We're not here for the scores. I know you guys are anticipating just like we are on Saturday to see exactly what these guys are going to do as far as who's going to make the team and who's not going to make the team. You already know it's going to be some people you're going to be like, what? Got cut? And then you're gonna look again and you're gonna be like, damn. He made the team, but then again, we have injured players.
They have an opinion of these players, not that is going to be different than us. They do not look at these players the same way as we do. They have their favorites. They're going to make their cases for who they want to keep on there. And again, regardless of who they pick for the 53 on Saturday, it will change come Monday.
Let me tell you something. If I didn't have a regular job and I didn't. And I was able, and if I had the ends to
stop watching the game at half, I agree.
I know Tyvola. Because when I go down to Charlotte every year for my roller skating showcases down there in Charlotte, so I'll be down there like in April of every year because I'll be skating like a mood. What frat you in, Charles? You barking like you don't know who at the door. Like, seriously.
Would be your mama.
You barking like you don't know who that is. Right. Hey.
Dog just racing around. How you doing there?
So it says key additions, Alan Hearns. I want to see what Alan Hearns is actually going to do. I really do.
We got to see him play. All we're doing is speculating at this point. Once we figure out what this team is going to be, what the identity of this team is, once Saturday comes, then we'll know what's going on. And then we already know the Cowboys are going to be looking for an offensive lineman and a safety. We just don't know who or what that safety is going to entail. But Oh, you a Q, Charles? He said your dog just told you. Charles, a Q. Whatever.
Hey, look,
hey, yeah, you D9. We love you anyway.
Hey, but you D9, bro. We love you anyway, though. But,
keep your mouth shut.
You already know it's blue fire over here all day, Charles. You already know that. But respect, though. Respect, though. Y'all was down there in NOLA messing with my sorority sisters. Out there, call yourself chasing the cat. He was down there. He got to go to Louisiana. I didn't get a chance to go. I've actually never had a chance to go. But like I was saying before, if I had the bread, I swear I would travel. I would go different places. And I'm telling you, like, there's a lot of places I have not gone. I've been to Florida a lot of times, but not every city, because Florida's huge. I love Texas. It's just hot as I don't know what. But then again, it's hot everywhere in the summer nowadays because
Chiefs are sending offensive lineman Parker Anger to the Cowboys in the trade for Charvarius Ward.
Okay, there you go. So we're getting an offensive lineman.
He lost the starting left guard position to Cam Irving early in training camp.
So
backup offensive lineman. Basically what we needed right now.
So wait.
That's more than likely going to be who they're going to try to get over to the 53.
So were you telling me that the Chiefs took Cam Irving from the Browns? Because he was on the Browns last year.
Looks like, and I guess they liked him enough to where they're going to go ahead and let go of this guy.
Say it again for the people in the back.
Ehinger. He's going to be coming over back to the Cowboys for Charvarius Ward. So I knew I wanted to get some details on that. So that looks like that's who they're going.
Well, there you go. There's
trading for that particular.
There's some more offensive line depth for you. I don't know.
I don't know. There's a pick involved. It might just be player for player.
I think it's player for player.
Let's be honest. These are guys that are down the depth chart for both teams. That's what it is.
I think that okay. So all we need now is a safety. Now, ain't nobody out there right now that we can get.
I still, in my opinion, would have preferred them to go get a center. I mean, it says this guy's a left guard. I guess you needed to get some additional help with Kadeem Edwards.
We know Earl.
Whatever about Earl. We already talked enough about Earl.
Outside.
I would have liked them to get themselves
I don't want to beat a dead horse like Mark Holmes was doing. So I don't want to keep talking about that.
But I would have liked them to get themselves a backup center. But I guess they feel like they have enough guys. I mean, even somebody like Martin can slide over and play center if need be in a pinch.
And I knew somebody was going to say Reed, but you already know the reason why the Cowboys not getting Reed. It's all because of the anthem. And I think it's messed up.
Dude, they don't want any part of anybody affiliated with the anthem.
Because no, and it's not
the anthem with the protest.
It's not the Cowboys because every team is not picking them. The reason why is because
it's not be acting like
Goodell said it out his mouth. He was like, I don't want none of y'all adding any more controversy about picking up any of these players, which I think is really foul. Because these players deserve to play. They're
scared. It's stupid how scared they are about simply having something that the president says about their league. I mean,
I know.
They don't need to react like this.
He did say that he wouldn't need. He did say that he would not get on his knee. But
he did tell the Seahawks when they were talking initially about bringing him in for a workout, that he wasn't sure whether or not he would, because they asked him whether or not he would deal, and he said he wasn't sure. But my thing is, why are you asking him to begin with at this point?
That shouldn't even be the answer.
If you wanted to bring him in, why are you asking about this? So
But see, this is the thing. This is the thing that, and like I said, I'm not going to go into that because again, we've been beating that dead horse for the last.
We would be on that subject for
forever.
All night.
And I'm not going to.
Sorry, guys.
All I'm going to say about it is this: I think that these guys still deserve.
I get what you're saying, though, Pat.
I hear you, Pat. But what I'm saying is this: is the simple fact that like when I'm going to say one thing when Colin Kaepernick actually started doing a kneeling thing, it was an actual military a military guy that actually told him to kneel to protest. So I think in his mind, he was thinking like, hey, I'm not disrespecting nobody. I'm like, I love my troops. I love my United States of America, but I just want people to see the injustices that have went on with my black people. And that's just the way he felt about it. But I look at it like this. It sucks because he gave all his money away to charities and he's done so much good stuff. I believe that he deserves a chance to play. I'm just saying. But,
and the conversation's not going away just because they don't give him a job.
Right.
Matter of fact, I think there's more conversation about this because they won't give him a job. It's the dumbest thing they could possibly do is to blackball this kid, knowing good and well all that does is bring even more attention to this and bring even more ire to them from the players as well as the public.
Hold on, Charles.
They should just go ahead and play the man and let this thing die out.
Charles, so Bryce Butler said that, but so did Orlando Scandrick. Orlando Scandrick said the same thing before he left. He's like, so we just going to sit here and just not win? We're just going to bow down and we're not going to change the scheme, or we're not going to do nothing? And that's why Orlando Scandrick didn't want to be on the team. And some of these players that have a nice bad taste in their mouth when they leave because they look at it like this. It's like, y'all don't want to win. And I agree with Bryce. And now the way he did it was like messed up. But the thing about Bryce is he said a lot of truthful things because now you don't burn those bridges, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, it was some validity to what he was saying. He basically was saying like the Dallas Cowboys, I felt like we as a team, we gave up when Zeke was suspended. And I was like, you had Alfred Morris. You had McFadden. You had two guys that are proven 1,000-yard rushers and didn't use them. They stopped running the ball with Alfred Morris. Look at Alfred Morris right now. He with the 49ers. And he's doing good with them. Mm-hmm. Why do we keep getting these players and don't bust a grape? I don't understand. And I know the players be sitting here like, so you just not going to use me for my strengths? What does Dallas do? We sit here, we change a guy's position, and we sit there and be like, you come in and be like, I'm a cornerback. No, I'm going to change your name to Toby. Now you're a safety. What in the world? Like, it's crazy.
At the end of the day, if they don't win enough games, they're going to have some changes. And more than likely, they're going to probably try to see if they can get Chris Richard to become the next coach.
Exactly, James. You got Chris Richard on the sideline blowing up, and Jason Garrett just clapping, talking about some good game, guys.
You can tell
when they come off the field, good game.
No, it's going to definitely be Chris Richard at the top of their list with the impression he's made on the players themselves on the team. There's no way they want to let that guy go anytime soon.
You have to literally be the guy. I imagine
honestly,
how hard it is to be on the team.
Even if they do have a great season, I could see them telling Marinelli, hey, we want you to retire so we can go ahead and make Rashad the defensive coordinator. I could see that for next year.
And I know the NFL don't want that press. See, the NFL don't – it's just – I mean, I'm not even going to forget it. Every time I think about it, it just makes me feel some type of way. Because I'm just like, so we just going to blackball these players just because they feel a certain way that you don't understand or you don't agree with? Like, I mean, what happened to the First Amendment, right? Like, you know what I mean? Okay, so those of you that have never been to the DMV, that's D.C., Maryland, Virginia, D.C., in fact, because I live in Maryland, but D.C., in fact, we have protests all the time in DC. I'm telling you, like on a weekly basis, and like you just be randomly going. I'll be randomly driving to DC, and I'm like, oh, it's another protest. I don't even know what the protest be about. But again, I don't judge anybody for what they believe in or what they're fighting for, because I don't understand what your struggle is. Just like if somebody from a different race or a different religion doesn't understand what you're fighting for, even if you don't understand, respect it. I mean, now as long as it's not a hate group, as long as it's not a group that's trying to harm anybody, I'm all for it. You know what I mean? If you're trying to fight for injustices or you're trying to do something right by yourself and whatever group that you're a part of, so be it. But like they always say, they say it's a time and place for everything. But like when Dak Prescott made his comment, he wasn't against the protest. He was just saying like, football is my outlet, and I don't choose to protest at that time. So,
not all the players are on board with this.
Not every player.
Everybody's not going to be doing groupthink on what they should and should not do as it pertains to the anthem.
Yeah. So
keep in mind there are players that are former military, and there are a lot of military that do not agree with the idea of kneeling or doing anything other than standing at attention during the anthem. There was a player for the Pittsburgh Steelers that had a big old flack about whether or not he should stand with his teammates or inside the locker room or stand outside on the field and show appreciation for the flag. It's a very complicated issue that there's no right, wrong answer about. What is the wrong answer about it is how this league is handling it, which is mishandling it, trying to blackball players or force them to do one thing or the other, when they really should just let this thing die out.
Right. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. But
the last thing you want is a bunch of millionaires a bunch of these billionaires trying to dictate how you handle protests or how you handle social action. They ain't got a darn clue.
But
so
one thing
shouldn't shock anybody.
One thing I will say, y'all, look, we are so close to the NFL season right now. I know I'm excited about it.
Get the game back off, y'all.
The thing about it is, we still got a lot to do before the regular season starts. Because if we're gonna beat Carolina, we got to make sure we on it. We got to make sure that we solidify the safety position. We got to make sure that we got the right offensive lineman in there, at least to be able to warrant some type of coverage for Dak Prescott, at least to Travis Frederick gets back, and that is if he ever comes back. See, that's one thing that scares me right now, because with his condition, there's no cure for it. He's going to deal with this for the rest of his life. So it's going to come to a point where he's going to have to make a decision whether he should actually still play football. And I really feel sorry for Travis Frederick but I'm really glad that they found it early, because they found it at a mild stage, and because he when I see him on the sideline full of hope and spirit, it gives me hope just to see that he's standing there and that he's not wincing or leaning over, or he's not laid up in the hospital bed. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying about that. But when we get to game time, when we get to Carolina, I'm gonna do some predictions on the game, which I would do every game this season. And also what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually do. I don't know if you're gonna come back for that, but me and Mark probably be doing that too. Predictions for the season. Now, I already said 10-6, 11-5, but I definitely want. What I want to do is I want to actually make a board with all the teams.
Can go
all the teams that we play this year, kind of like what was that ESPN that does that, when they stand up there and they push the little button. I don't have all the technology to do that, but I'm gonna do a board like we did for the draft. I'm gonna put it up, and it's gonna have all the teams that we play this year and the wins and losses. I think that with the Eagles, we might split that one. Redskins, I can actually see us sweeping them again.
The Giants, I think we could end up giving up a game on the road to them.
See, the Giants are a real iffy team, because once you count the Giants out, all of a sudden they start winning. But these, no matter how good or bad the team is, the division games are always hard because they know you better than anybody else does. And that's just the bottom line with that. They know you better. And even with all these different players,
they have enough weapons, and they still have a pretty good defense to where it's going to be interesting how that all shakes out.
They gave Odell Beckham all that money, so he better do something for them.
I mean, he's going to show out. The guys like him, guys like Barkley, I'm not worried about. Or I am worried about.
Now if they start,
their offensive line is going to tell the story. If they have a quality offensive line, then they're going to have a good season. And if they have a so-so offensive line, it's going to depend on who they play.
You said Odell at Drake's crib looking for Kiki. Yo, Odell is a weird dude.
That song is so weird.
Odell Beckham is a weird dude. When you look at some of the stuff he does, I keep forgetting these guys.
He's a weird dude, but when he gets on the damn field, he's a bad man.
I'm not gonna lie, he is
no doubt about it.
But you know what's funny? Not to compare him to Dez, but his teammates said that when he jumps out there and he's passionate and blah blah, he's just showing passion for the game. Does that sound familiar?
What?
Dez Bryant.
He does the same. I mean, that's why they're such good friends, because they can see one another in the other. But the dude has more ability than Dez.
I mean,
he does have more. He has better speed than him. That's for sure. Dez is a bigger receiver than he is.
Dez didn't need to be fast. Dez just needed to.
He bullies people. Whereas
that leverage as a wide receiver, leverage counts. And I'm telling you, all of you that love Michael Gallup, I'm telling you, once Michael Gallup gets his leverage together, oh Lord, he is.
He still needs to get more bulk, because he's still. I mean, he still probably could get pushed around.
He get pushed around. Yeah.
He's still going to get pushed around a bit. He's got to learn that. But he's got an ability to do some good things this year.
Yep. But it was great talking to y'all. I'm gonna end up cutting the live stream soon. Any last remarks?
No, I mean, this is fun. I hope you get a chance to do this again. At the end of the day, guys, I mean, like I said, it's a quality team. They're going to have their flaws. They're going to need to figure out what they're going to do about offensive line depth. I personally am not satisfied with them bringing in Anger. I would have hoped they would have brought in a center, but I see what they're doing. They need to bring in some depth at safety too. But other than that, I think they have themselves a quality team that's going to win a lot of games. I'm with you about 10 to 11 wins is what I see. Where those wins come, we'll discuss that later. But I think you guys have a lot to look forward to from the season. Most of all, I think the biggest thing you have to look forward to is this is going to be one of the best defenses that this team has had on the field, at least in the last 6 or 7 years.
Oh, David, they're holding LVE for the regular season.
He is not setting foot on that field until the first half.
Yeah, he's not going to practice till they start practicing.
He'll practice next week.
When they implement,
Tuesday,
when they start implementing.
Tuesday, I think they're going to start practicing again.
Yeah, when they implement the game plan for Carolina.
He'll begin practicing then. But no, I mean, like I said, you got yourselves a really good defense. You got one of the best running backs in the league. You got one of the better young quarterbacks in the league. And you have yourself an up-and-coming young receiver in Gallup. You start from there, build from that. If they can get through the first quarter of the season at least 2-2, I think they got a chance. So, and then we'll see what happens from there.
So real quick, I just want to speak my piece before I cut off. Thanks again, y'all, for all the support that y'all been giving me. I appreciate it. You guys have been great.
Great questions, guys.
For my special guest, Mouth of the South.
Yeah.
My frat brother.
I wasn't that loud.
No, he was good tonight. And I just want to say that, you know, as many of the things that we had go bad as far as injuries this offseason, we still not as bad as y'all think. Things are gonna turn out right. I'm telling you guys, things are gonna be good. We're gonna be good. Shout out to Sheila. I believe that we're gonna do good this season. We just have to make sure, as a fan base, we have to make sure that we are rooting for our team and show love not only to our team but our fellow Cowboy fans. So we got to stick together, y'all, because that's what it's all about. You know, it's all love. It's all love.
Hopefully, I get a chance to do some road trips with you guys later on in the season.
So I know the road trip that we're going to do for sure is definitely the draft next year in at the Tennessee Titans. So we're going to Nashville.
Well, that's my hometown. So y'all ought to be in for a good treat there.
Shoot, my god brother might even be coming for that one. So
right.
It's going to be a bunch of them because you know what happens when you get a bunch of dudes together. Like we get irritated with each other and we want to knock each other's head off. Because I don't know how many times we almost got into it when we went to Texas, but it worked out. We had a great time. We live streamed. We basically recorded every step of the way. We was tired, and we did all this for y'all entertainment, y'all. I mean, it's for y'all, man. It's for the fans, and like I said, we love y'all support, and we're just trying to keep this thing going. You know what I mean? Like, I know Mark got his channel shut down, but I mean, he's gonna live vicariously through our channels as well. So. We're just going to keep it moving, y'all. You know, it is what it is. We're going to support him. He's going to support us. You're going to see me doing more live streams with my special guests. Mouth of the South is going to be coming back. So we're gonna do the damn thing. So with that being said, y'all, it's your boy, YouTube Blue. And
much love to you guys, too.
And I will see y'all tomorrow when I do my videos tomorrow while I'm working. So I appreciate y'all coming through on the live stream.
God bless you guys. Have a great weekend. Everybody have a safe Labor Day weekend. Enjoy the season, y'all.
And let's get ready for this 53-man drop down.
All right, now.
I'll let y'all.
All right. Let me throw this away for you.